we chakalur we chaking mot we ko ke brom kana wok ni amantay kana biodana ngo win na kol ka chagadi chalwe lagan and benang interview onorani chol garang ajang deng barak garang ajak a presidential candidate a former secretary the makram in tawti ni yamane awar bolwaide chen loy tak ka chibe jal ni makapi rola wen ko nya kude ku be tie tinong twi binde bloy na kolwan yamasabit ke ka chitio na biag de campaign a jorot gwir biglo na kol de cheri pa kene yana ka kuburo loy ni kol pa ayemo fruit biya sa tier kutok when eastern time kan ji zaman na chayok ba do ben ku bukuram ni yamane ke tar ken goge alai tar ku leben ka chi wo yo ko je to kwer loida a chiro gol pa ka ye na le bi che ku ka le loida le bi chopet ku buku go doping chan ko ka bela tro loy ko abinin pa kene yen ke bayan ku bukuram ni ko le ba ka ba ping no garang ajak che garang yetok ani both candidate aga cha ke tie chin candidate cha chol ke manager skin ke ka cha ke chol ke manyang chol duot che na lao che le yes go ahead lord twing loy garang interview nong dan gyal ke ga ngot ke chin messenger an yo bu chia mane nin ka che tek kene ka chan bi jam tin aret a choice na chinga ku che le yes in cha ping ke na ka kini dok tok ka ngot ka ti ta guten ni bata red ban kira lew ka choy saya interview chin ke di tin ala balwel yes or no ku yana la twen pa an chira no de any camp an around the ku tv kan ayen ka ga tu ya ga loy tin ti ngi ke yen pa loy ki share we ko ke ban cha ke tinka we ko ke ben ke bu wo yo tan ti tv welcome ba ka ping nong ran goodbye near one apiet ko ben lel ko welken ping yen ka ko kuin ku yen ka yen tang bin ko loy lew na loy pa kan ye kol we be ping nong ran kore kuran chi kore okay ayo ko ga maya kene yen ke loy de ye kol apiet daret loy ki share ku ramke wen ko ke ben au ko ke ben ke bo yo ni studio jitan la ka twen loy ke share kan ke ana non ko ke ne yo man ka bi ga yo ala ta ki chi wo beram na ko loy ke share bi ga yo apet an bi diar ka ba ga ta diar ke tui ku garang na ja ka ba bai wo bi jam wel ke yo ko ka ba ka ping anon ki chirana thiech ku ke lo ro na ber no ngen ka ba ya bai ne ku ka cha ke guir ban ga tie ai ka le ba tie ai ran kai ku be ping yung koran pa kan interview hadi bi yen wet cha tie yen bi tie ale bi tie ni media ko ku le ki chir ki ya gam ke no ngi la twen ta pa ke ne yen ka jam ne yo ko we cha lor we cha mo anu bi dana ngo welcome to tv pa ke ne yen ka ba le wona wek ku wo bi la twen immediate ka ba ka ta kiat ke
Mangar, domluk, mangar kam gajana. Talating manya inga, baca manya inga, ulai mangar kam gajana. Talating manya inga, baca manya inga, ulai domluk, mangar kam gajana. Talating manya inga. Ariana, the chief in a one more career. Boy, joy, the children, Panyang will a little the chief in a one more career. Boy, joy, the children, oh, jumping it out, Urana, Kupara Boom, Meron, Montano, your mind, oh, the other. I was a my venture, my long junket, you were on the end of your boy. Joy, get out the chimney, I was joy, get out the chimney, manding a chalet, need a chalet, then what you kill a king that out of wood, young long of you. I don't do your going, when we get down, you join us. Manding a chalet, need a chalet. Then what you get a king that out of wood, long of you. I don't do your going, when we get down, you join us. Manding a chalet, need a chalet. Then what you get a king that out of wood, long of you. I don't do your going, when we get down, you join us. My brother Kenny, don't you want my brother Kenny? I'm a good ring, take a courier, my brother Kenny, don't you want my brother Kenny? I'm a good ring, take a courier, my brother Kenny, don't you want my brother Kenny? I do. I do you now what you read to keep. Oh, chot. I do you now what you read to keep. I don't know what could have been. Where much on my God. I'm not a deity, radio, what you will. I want to look in your work. In the journal. Where I'm the right belly, where pocket I come on, where I'm the where cock you'll be, where it's out the way, election, we go ranching in Firmiaro. Boy, who's up, you feel what you ran, you don't know. We will be letting down. I'm very open, no fun among the I do not be let you let him go. I'm very open, no fun among the I'm the happy pocket. And the chair, I want to do that. I'm the happy pocket. And the chair, I want to do that. I don't know that don't know nothing when you got your money. But I am in you, Papa, better boy, you, Papa, better, I am in you, Papa, better. You when you go doing mine and Papa, yeah, because you want it, but I am in you, Papa, better. You go doing mine and Papa, oh, Budua, Narute, Budua, Narayola, Budua, Narute, Negato Mage, Latom Jabe, Negato Mage, Latom Jabe, Negato Mage, Latom Jabe, I'm naive, Maluga watch it, I will never naive, Maluga watch it, I will never naive, Maluga watch it, I will never lead a jadder, oh, getting a queer again if you I'm Waiting for me, I love you, I'm more waiting for me, waiting for me. I love you, I'm more waiting for me, waiting for me.
Aywa. Hey, en apet we chakalur we chakeng mot we ko ji ke ben ko ji an lo jo ni tan. Kan ga TV de ti en ka lo twen ay ga lweltin ka community nga kor brot kun. Quran kor benang ku wa bi ko bi ka ping. Pa kan ye kan ga na ka ti an che ban manyang chul duot cha ti manyang ye okay. Baran chol garang ajak ke candidate ba interview. Ulweli chawa jamu team ba jamu garang ko balakin ko ping te du chien nong ban daw ko ka ngot ko ken ben yet which way some occasion which lui tax back and forth ku ka chin ke ban pa kan yo kol ngadi ga yen we inside about ko lui ku nin ka che tyo ko nin karo ko ka che dong ku na ye mya tu ko ka che ru wi ni jot ko buger ke bi cha pin và cái highlight ba gua gam twen ko ken gol ni ye loy ban garang aja ka chiben aka be jam kan gen ye loy en bi wala tin ni man miao tui abnang show bro loy ko possibly miao dare abnang show bro loy ti china ta chir kan ku chiben ko kai ro la agoran gui road bro gui ta twe wor bi ko kai ka le ku le wo ko bu ku twe ye nga che ben ko go ka ler ke lu to mia ka ber ke chor mia ka chor ke madamat lo ko tu ko kwa du kana long bai war ye wo ko lo no woti na ye kul ku ye kul yen ko bin ban bi nyoy ko kai ka le ye to cha kin ko bu war karan yen ti pyo nang be to be lom ku be mai e ben nyal ku le na ki pa ka jo tie je yong yen bi yen ka wel ke ab ke jo bay ping bai ke ku jo lo ai wa ran bu ku ka ku jo lo la yin ko toy yin mo ngor ke to che kul twen kwa che tok e gol de ye loy de la twen de kene yen ga ti ye loy kam andan de jeng ai bi agrok ke yin ben ku wel ke du bay ko to yin ke bu yin lwel we ko ke ya kor ba loya ki na chi gam ke kor ba lwel ke ka bo mer kro ni ko le ko yen ke kar ke ba lwel ke cha gam ko cha ka mat yen ke la twen ka kene yen ke lwel da mat ku yen ke ko yen ke ye bay ku jo ko ke kor bu ke le ke ko jo ta no tu chi jo ke le we din jo ke ping jo ke kor ke bi loy jo ke le ne loy pa ke loy de wa ti ye ko ni na wan ke jam wo tin ye man e interview yo ngo kor garang na jak yen toy tie na ber temben wen ka tie ban tem ne deng na ngo yo ngo kor yin toy yin tie wera je waw no bai no na chiping ke chaping yen ka ye ngo ke chating yen ka ye loy ke cha gam yen ka ye loy ka ke kai ko kwet a chin ban tong ni ko ke dia ay nyo yen ban ta chen coi thầu cái yen chen cái bê cái vô là ngã lâu can cái này wow nó bài nó giờ bài giờ tiếng ní giờ lại nó cứ cỏ cái này giờ nó kêu lùi giờ nó bài quanh quanh cái tiền là cái này bài nó tiền cái là nó quạt này chứ bê lùi miao giờ ngã chơi nó chỉ bê ngã bê là ngã cái lùi bê nghe biết cái bê yên nên nature de panda yena ka biak de long bai kun biak rock rane ben ko ko ni wede bo wow wede ka kira wow kira lwel ku ta ga chil wel no won ko lakin ngak one on one au jam ran tok kran ka ja kira kon be loy kene yena ka kar ba yen wek ku ka open non ka ko ja wen ka ka nin ka bo da ku ka pye daret bu ku ping non ko ke bo mai nin ke bo an chi twi gam ya yen ka belo kana wo ku kor bi jo tie chara be de ti chanye yen ngo bi ga to nya wa de yen ka bi wo lo tin ban Garang Ajak ka ba bay wono ran yaran dier ke chuo mai ruon to chola jang ni chimana tem jang ma ger yaran kende re na to ko kan ka barom wo wek au wati ya kol daw kan kan tema duldul aban ga dier ken ta waya wo blo jamit ni ta ko re ka ba gol ni ka wati yen an be panen ka bai abake bay abake taw bake ping ma na ji ko zaman belo kan be ben won the next song dier de yoku ke da balaga wan ke ma kuni yemen kan be dier abaga bay tuen ko opening abi joben kan lo ida and be yi ko le daw yelwel kan yen ka signature kan ra ni chol tem biura tem abake bay ko baga ping ma ta ko
Amadena woni John Island. Dem biara dem. Abu kadara ke. De chonda na jang na biya. So we ta le yo wase. Yang ke gato. Jamele di biya kon be. Ayo gaman ya chunga la da la dum no janga tan ke manwat. Ya mar jang leng yo. Tun wa ya la tem yo. Kamon ya. Like I'm going to
aywa pati ga ba ka ka ta wan pati na jang ma ya ba taw wo blo jami tiat ke nan bo
dera juangwan ma yadi magoga durje na di da go bo dur meng jiro to biya ya la ka belum di te ya lu che ko ti che ko te ba ma biora kom chama jongawa jara wel wel mar cha ka be dia ina ngor werang ya bolun de buda da boy ri ko mari ma pe wala mari ma pe ra che pir wal ga jut Tija kweru naro gachen waljak ayro na wada magori ka bera ete kutada nulu ma gadam agogo wa chulo oga chulo mala na mora chigari mulo tija tija gada ganna mo gadna che mor gula ko to kai lo gada udo jima bodi li ma di ta to ya dine wa ko paten
aye biu break by alum ba di choya kulo ko twenga tan we cha galor ku we cha king mo we ko ji ke ben tv ko dai ni eloina fi community ko ke na mo show yende ku loye ku jela ko chen kana wo ku ko rer kana wo we ko dio we cha ko mo ni rin ga twi Korean Gapandan, in within United States, between the US, Kana, which I can return. Kaka and be Katini and no Wolloy, away and gam in India, abang Katao, Bakangi, TV, and a K and a can, dinner, a Wolloida, a Yoku laptop in India, Kakaba Bay a Chawan, and a cable, the Loida, Wobulatin, Fa Kora, yet Kayanamata and Bob. Just hang in. Coach, what I took a laptop in a K and a can now near and each other no more. Why did it cheer for? Chilot today, you know where? Wo would you quite a podia looking at you for cacao way? Ben Garang Ajak in Chalor, in Chamot, and TV. In the way you can better what in the running of war, but Lloyd Balala Pancho, Lloyd one got you coin a cool one, who would in die. You cool one, in Chatia, non koi, Chake Tau, Louis can in. Can I all koi caviar, koi management, the team do. Chakatao, Louis can in, koi Chaka trust, Chake more, Kake Abin, Yen Kubuk. Kana light nongin kubik an yen la tweng bulwe la lor banda allow ba theato theato kin ga chi oben ye kol kana cham chan ban manyang chamop ku ba chale chi an do to chi ke cha thie alwe wan ye ka chi ro lo ka ngo to tek ta nong di cha ku bier ke kana ka ja ya wo nong long da we nong long dun wa ti ko ka ta ma ding ngo ka nong long din wo wai na ka loy ku ke na che kwa ya wa ka che loy ku cho ka che ka wa ka ka ja ta jam bi wo lo tin aba tek nom na kan ke diak ka bi wo ka jam tin ka ke diak na bi ka zaman le ka be jo ben jam dai wi yin na bi ke yi che ka be ben jam dai woni yin ran ka ja ben ya ti yo ngu bu ki ye yin ken ki yin ta ba loy ka wa ka jo le bi ka ping wer chi ping yen ka ye ber cứ nghịch yen ka ye loy cứ ngap yen ka ye kwan chok cứ cha chum yen ka ye tem aya ngop ka wel kon a chi lo ko cha ti nim ku ko le ka bo ko le tem abo an ran tung kor ba ko lieb nyin yo ngu kor garang na jak ye ge to nya wer ka be ben ne personal background ye nga in garang na jak wer ka be ben ye ngoloy ku kwan chok kana ka be ben platform yen ke cha jor ko ke yen ko kol da bier yen kor baloy yen ngo balewo mandu when akut the three ben to pan chol United States nong shabab ko ke jo ben yemen ruon ke ruon chile no wo achano mi ko bobe ne jolo high school a chi jwe yer ruon ko we lost boys ko on ke bo ne ngadi ne 2000 ruon a lip karo coi ke mi ko a chiro jot ka ja ka jman a chi jolo high school ko a chilo college no ko wan chi dob lui gedem mandu when cake ni ya wadi ka personal view and background platform relationship with Twitch as a community. The Kakadia Kakabia focus. The Kakakadia are because your turkey in the Kabati in the Kayi. Whether Yanakabati, we sharp, Yanakati and do all of Tinakanakan. Which a king lord, which a king mob, went there in the tea, when Garang Ajak, but Jamad way, who Bakatin Kor Belwell, when below the tea, the Kabaka Tea. Garang Ajak in Chalor, in Mob, welcome, TTV.
Hey, Ian, with your down, Kara, Sun Yaman, you clear and I'm quite a ping.
In a good, indeed.
Hey, Ian, you come out at it, Chinang, which an Daman who came by Benetton. And Chira Leobois, in Chene, who think a corporate tree belatting or Leopomaktabit, who got Morendi, in a can wear batting with tree. And not to Daniel Coco Bella Lilton, Coney will call by Latwing the door of that ben. Near Kohler, Kaima Bunita Motoret. Kuwe viewers ge da we ma ke rete dite ki tuen bana gol e wara kol ko we community de tree wo dia pederet wo chi our hero General Mol dan Deng freedom fighter chinyen jal ni ke ka ke junubi kina dia wo pederet ko wo tree pinom ben ko dia pyo ko ko ga uda yuan ene ke te bi jono no motin kene ne ke tuen bakal le ko nyale jara ande ku rere ku loy ku woni en chi ber butuk kwa chi ta ka lerin tang chene ta so ki entene kini jono no mo che ba che tor kwa chi nyale de jor ne ke circumstances ke pi iranu ko banang ba ya ko indi chin ben pinam kene ne ke le to ani kene ke ne ke condolences le bagam twin yen tan pinam ben ku ja ko ruwa kene work kengi jono mo dan Deng so no biuru kene ke bana gol ko bi jala ne jam dai woni yin
Ayen, apet yin chale chaga reminded war kol e wa te yin ka piang ane amol ran rwai nongen cha reminder cha bay ting tau kan yen e nya na bulla rong de yak abul yin ka dit bol yin ka nong chul yin ting pan dia a great loss when did e chol daw tanamul Deng ngadi ngaluires ama yual ka bolaro pin ga ti diden tin ben pande yo yena bol ran bi a great loss non Geneva Sudan a great loss to non Twitch is ku jonglei a great loss to non county the Twitch ku jol ya yual as a whole ku jol le pande de dande de kene ka yin ya kumit ke pa we ko je ke to kol pa chi aja kol ti ko bo yen ke chang de war nong my brother tem de ngango chiman chi loy loss kana ka chiro loy kafar kun ku kafarna wo go dia ku ka ko ke ka ga jiro loy ni nana wen penya chiang tuen thank you ban Garang Ajak yen ke ati din yen ba ko ba ke reminded ba wer chir kan ba beri ni I appreciate you for that.
thank you
Jo ben ni jam dai we ko ke dai pianga kuen ku garam go bela twen ye wet ke wel ke ba ke tie ke ban Garang Ajak yin cha lor ku yin cha mo le wo ye yin nga barad wow barad le wo ye yin nga
hey Ian to our viewers
ke an bo
okay
imro le wo ye yin nga yo ngo kwan chuk ne biag de pye ke yo ngo cha bay yen kor ba nyol ko ka ke diak bin ko le long du kri lao wen bi jo be ben dar ja de ro in bi wo belatin le wo da ye yin nga ku yo ngo kwan chuk ku yo ngo loy ne biag won de pye
hey Ian we viewers ke dai ran jam gonna we then Garang Ajak de Deng de Barach the question is Simon Petit bio danango ke yan nga yan garang ano mo na diok ano ran lit payam diok ale ben kudura diok ano mo pa koy ajo pa koy bel lel yan mo pa na la na koy yan ke ti dikan are pa ni cho Houston Texas the bang the US kanto to Houston southern part of the United States going to America is the to Houston tin anto one pandi man mi che cha ur agan de duot e nya na yuen udon pan kwe pan agan woto tin one tong ko ke dia we chakero kunyandi e bang di ken le ben yung cho quan chuk kuyo cái cái lối của young people coi còn cái bốc cả kuma acha anh lên bác cái kula cái tukulit brand benang cái lebih nhị bên coi kun qua cara lối ya cái yuk lối của tàu usually thì này cái pol bài chết giảm tin achan luôn những cái đó luôn community của requirement community chỉ đi direct but achi ben ke question chiri mane ka pit bile ko achan wo jinang mi ke to no wo kumi ga akor bigi yangi ki chiri kina to kene ke ya kina ran de dandi den community the bang education ke anje be lo to college ko anong bachelor degree in petroleum and natural gas engineering from Penn State ko berat well kula engineering system or system management from George Washington University in Washington D.C. downtown. Ku chiki ato dag tin ba choto go other opportunities go ben Bangalore get it to ke no more than a masters. Ta be politan we are thinking ke ge rather than just a title. So we have a launching the collet. E bang the education kan ai bang the loy ku ba ka ba le ki han gan young people ke die can she could be one of people in the community to become mentored and Alabama one of them bang the loy ke obviously most people can wow in one way or another but they are polymath because it's a requirement to the leadership of the community. Yeah, now we want to come out of US. We are in the oil and gas sector. I in the Bangkok, okay, Department of Energy or Department of Petroleum or Mining. But I buy it in a want DOI, which is Department of Interior. So Department of Interior in a muksul, kapin, your job, your gold, your coal, anything mineral related. AR Department of Interior by it and acquire Bangkok security. So I'll run the Department of Interior equivalent to petroleum and mining and other places. I'll be within an agency, a small agency that takes care of kachika job in the ocean. I'm talking as senior advisor. I advise on how to safely drill, how to manage it, and also monitoring emerging technology to improve safety in the offshore environment. OCS, Gulf of Mexico, the Pacific, Alaska region. All of those places outside the United States I go on. My office is here in Houston. About the career can. I don't know. Your question unique.
a chi coach yin je coach cha ke liep nyin ku kan yin ke ya ngi na chi yin ngi karan de to chen nong ke be tie nong ran de be la tie ni long a chi ber tie cha ping man yin ko won cha tie yin ku ka cha ber ken yin ke ya jam e bu wer lel ku ping ku ber ku ba tie na kin ay ko juja ye le garan ka jidit ni community en to wotin awun ye akuti en ci wo bentin la wo da ye jidit wudi ku yin bo yin awrun ga tiro ye jidit ngo ye jidit wudi ni ye community kan
Thank you, Simon. A good question. You can, I just think campaign it mostly. Yeah, when it comes to community, can change it good. When by anani chiboke yaran ko rolo no. Ano boke yaran dit. Kaya ko kangi chana kakuma. When jala na kakuma kaya na petu grade 8. Awo ke KCPA pia gutur kuloku tayare. Ani chuba in the day 28 December 2000. Koi rieke yan wo jinyu kujugu jal. Ben chube ben communities kwa churu be gol 2005 2004 community radio first meeting at Chalatin and Garang kutau kukwan leadership ajite ke atot kule jitan awan ke anja involved with kwan ke state representative the community radio ki to ya man kwanya tin baraje kwan kule ga bukai ko Pennsylvania be represent I think Ebul ajang chul yene ke ben at the time yene ke ti gola lon yene community chokan cha jam ni na ya tang dat ke kwan ke liu or atau ka gam ken chin ke takare be ben community dan ita di man ke ken abe kanye be ben ya ku be lui thing lo ya gal un pan biura pai ku loku la wona deng ko la nyang ku ba war wona tem deng atem in those capacities either be a kwan ka secretary kana gurumi en isolated binanga Pacific task ka chero da loy anyito ya kunum tiona ware kia secretary kana development group yene kagalit the thing in the sense law community know who you should be will focus on those positions I get help either you are just a member of a group or you are secretary group or on a Pacific task and to lead. So to the point banjala benetui banbe luilinga bono lalbul manyok ku jaben ke secretary general in 2019 but going back to 2016 one in chiwo code would you code one again golwal gola bai ku loku ben 2019 ku ngot ke lwal in tie ba ben go gamu la okay am ben chan community to me da cha kwan ja liu da du ka kaya gamu na cha rai ku loy so anche jidit ka community anjilu ya rete wona ke communities ka from a biog level from payam level yena linda ku tui ke a secretary general in the last 3 years so kene a tinga che jidit ya anjilu ne ke communities ki ben agal from the lowest to now the tui and garan by our chairman of the community for this time being in the event week.
Very good. So a yellow when and change did nano Iran, you can see quick in a car queen.
Yep.
A chagol the boomer at your home ground. In Tiben lead a yen payamdu. In Tiben tree a yen county do. Where got you to? Can call?
I think that's
yellow cook kaka kuchin mana de kega Louis Changawan. Na can grumping kakachira, I think to be around unrum gran un. The Tawina could do it. Unless no march away, Chol. Can a road bear, Chicoja. Dadaki a Kakaka Jacke Loika Injilon, Intonia could name Ki. Yok well wadi, how did it involve with him?
So, Lalbul Manyok, I chol ki 2016. 2016, I chen chut, I believe, Taiwan or so. Ku joku riai, an ben, ku an chala ka kin galoy, ka piri. On, kija telephone dom, ka dam ke ala ben tiri cha Philadelphia ke get. Ku jelwele ke alwal, Lalbul Manyok, Garang. Lwala rewo kwati, yung pa na ding naman. kwere won lwal Deng ku kwere won lwal Deng we la rom pe ni tui mo nya yal ko mo nya dio ko chin ki wo dan mar na nga chu la rom pe da chwe ke ne ke te la rom pe bar wo ke che ko won ke nyi a lo ku ben ka che chol ku le yin ai community de tui akar ban ba ai involve ku yin a ko ba cha won ya wa le men ai ko che ite go le yin garang ai ma a che ite ne ka ya na ko ban ke lo ya go community go ma so wo chi jam
yimba ngadi tan ayelwe uti ka che ite at the time
right
kulwal ka chi ben ku ti chin ye yin akar buku lo ka ti che ita cha te ka ya kor buku mari ne to
yep
okay bar wedui maton
a chi ja cha ti chi ten wo lo lai men chi tui te ko le ba mari yin yung ye ko ba lo mani beto da so cha ja le yen ku bro lo go be nang jam ni yin and yala nyu ku lo ja ki 15 questions that stated 15 questions I his own ability ke lo I his knowledge community the tui ku ja ya kan ye ke ane mena nya da in that sense so kaka cha ga pin bu ju nyu ya yen time ku ja ina bi lo chi me je mo ni ni ma bi you could teach a pet ya teach na nga lo yen ba ni community ke yung ye tin chanin che ke dang che lum ke chin challenge cha tin yung ye ko ba dia other than ki ko ke ite ke what else can you do na nga lo ka ke yin mar ke yen bi ya ko de lo no ba lo so lo chi ja jam planning kan le bi lo tui le bi resource a ben le ti le bi resource a lo tin to be ka ba ya lo tin ka chi ka ke a chi lo ke jam tin te ra mo pin mo lo kan from teaching question to do tin question ke tiru kudi ani ja be lo ku ja ke review ku ja tin ku ja my research be la lo ya dan mo ko ko what thing ran ken a chi an you at the time also we mo be ke talk about community chi mo general community da bio ku ja community the lead I very small communities who ka pit big vision alwan ye well between the cover even from lead to pakir aya tinga pit aya tinga le buo since in the United States for community go on big number go benang impact kina ta betin ge ke pit kula okay ayu kan ka tinang le
in frozen garang chi ngadi Louis Frost
Malumba bol mari. Auna no bo guda na malumba guna mor ma gudu banturam yali ya ka kulbana ko era machali de ramalo. To do je mabur da un bilu no mabian ya ita. Mabur ya ye na to yemi ga dikin dar bariya. Ayai da o wala ni ni kanim. Kenya chen ka dir mo bioro lo mer. Turmi da bu bian de darman. Joko bian amere jetti ja bian watwanya. Mabudi ni yumadi. Mabudi ni juna yum. Mafuri yuma ber malumba.
welcome back
I'm like one on where the issue here the internet actually interrupted them
okay
so hopefully we are good ayen wala bu ko lot woni yen kanwo
ayen ko woni yen kai wo ko chin jama ya gu ya duno lwal ko ti chin belo involved in chin ben community tin pa ke long ka bo ko cha bo be go chen ko ba be ti long the the community ti yen mai tin especially non-profit organization yen ki wo ben tin yen jamo ko ye ma ya di ni long changi yen cha pyo ni ka ki ko ti cha kwen yen changi yin ran chi kwen yin into in the management yen ka chalo in engineering system engineering we had one yen kang lo be design be lo di strategies be put together but the transition of this in back and but translate into non-profit organization chiri ka taw twitin lewo da ye maya dia kun chiri ka
Ayen, thank you, Babir. Ne ben akunum da ande twi. Ayatom na kawadi ke combination of community based, which is community, kuja non-profit itself. Kaga ka chuga merge together. Ugayo go ko bugo weg bugo kana bugo carry together. Bang the community kini ki yen kachan yelwele nga bukan net kubija yen bang ni kemet. Bang the NGO a che kuru ke kan welu ke itin. Ki e korban I board members, chairman of the board sa ka bend ni ka yo kwan ku benye ni ke community ni ke organization nga ye kala twin. But ka ga chuga mare the ga together. A ben a community kwan kuran kini nga bija lui all over. He is the chairman of the community. Ku non-profit aje to asset to the community. Tani en tau ka ko tin kan. Ale ben yen ke anjinang minute wan channel 2019 which is tau en wonalwal. Buku dai ku tinku ki chuku wow tuiwan ye tang ni jamun channel wel jam no wonalwal kaga to tin e yung challenge ku yung buku dia ku what sort of planning ye meto 2019 ko jin yu good lwal bul lwal de ngawan ku ja ben wo 3 candidates ku jogu ting community da kubra ka loy yung weakness de yung strength de what are the threats and what are the opportunities ay tong ko waje ka choice SWOT some sort of a SWOT analysis e chugu loy ko ay win the building alogo ting the organ few weaknesses weaknesses ake lack of resource ku threat ake the fact that organization itself ake compliance with the United States rule which is the IRS documentation and so forth opportunities ake people the generosity kukai also strength koi ke anong pil pandin uganong pil bigita together koi ko god big mil ken big also ko big koi ken tiga wan kin big li kaga tu ke ting ke strength of the community generosity di de rete di te lebi ran ke di de le bagam ke le bran bin koi bi lo kun bang bai e de to human resource tacit knowledge di de rete e tu ting ke strength a lot of tue anong actually are very educated at it. They are kuruti, anong very good background in all kind of fields, not just engineering, Tim and Jaman, although one of a lot. One of other people in the field of accounting, one of other people in the field of management, one of doctors, one of public health professionals, PhDs, quite ato in our community. We think a string on our work. Who donated to our people as a community together, acknowledging to gain in a view of it. So, in trying to manage those, is that now that we understand the SWOT, which are all the opportunities, weaknesses, strength, I took a thing. Mokuja real community kirikine, kilibayan ko a planning. Many way yung nyobo, yung riwo, yung lubukaporyo, bangda kuma batin. We'll be planning a book now. Planning in it, you will okay. Year 1, we'll be a book year 2, we'll be a book year 3, year 4, year 5. It was a 5-year plan. Now I see by the country. There are then a book with the dom where we are. I think we are strong enough that 2 years we are looking to a 10-year plan, even 15-year plan. But a trick, based on the condition you learned in the country, United States, yenaka yin plan to a jagger when that's the negative yo community yo call rule watching. That planning I check it, what you could then on ko ke ben e kriti na che ben der which bay ka lo ku leren community trick kini ene you ko call bu way managing der ku bay to ni mabio mission buku chwa ko nim from us wo ko ke lead the ayen ke wo care about all the way to Miliketa no wuchuk ku koy ko be be ke leaders community da e kan kero ay luel the purpose, the mission the tree, e buku rot ko ni tin kene, ku buku koi kwan ki dung ba buku ko koi to South Sudan in that regard. Queen Datene is economic advancement in the United States. That is to be stronger about developmental programs, health, education, peace and reconciliation. We are getting involved using our knowledge. Part of the way team. Now we know the mission. We have this vision. We have this planning and 2,000 place. We know what is weak about us, what is strong about us. The way we call community humanity. And that's how that system background came into being. Because I think the thing called approach. Cái thing big good that you will overload. What do you understand and what don't you understand? The way in projects in approach. Community you approach the same way. At Mendiamo, I'm approaching the community the same way. Where are the weaknesses? Where are the strengths? Where are the opportunities? No. So community diamond Diamo is registered as part of that planning to be compliant. Okay, we can identify through this process that we use. So in managing a community base, we took community at the first, and we took the non-profit organization asset to the community. And the point is, if a non-profit organization with resources because we live in this system where you can talk to any other bigger organization who really your needs. Who those needs are bigger supported by other non-profit organizations with more resources than us. Community, and this is the design that I'm trying to use. It's still sticking to the SWOT. It's still looking at the planning and still looking at where we are in the system and how we can benefit in the system in total. Community that working. Not forgetting that we have Payam leaders. That is part of the community where this asset has to be connected with the other leadership. Who now partnership between these Payams. Top leadership between. The way that we try to manage it, the way that I'm trying to manage it as of now. I don't know which part did I forget in your question.
Where got your thing? But Chan Baba damping Chianaton, Kaka Yelwelton, a Yelwell walk one of Payamat, who will in partnership. Payamat can boomers are in partnership.
Right.
Can Yanakayan. But do chant there, I wouldn't chan and tea, Yamaja D and Akurkan. Look at Chalwell, Wukaka Kankaro, Kaka town the Turkey. Kangaroo, a non community on side, Yanaka Yanakoi. Non-profit, Yanaka resources, Yanaka cake bay.
Right.
Kaka. Link together. Now a non-profit alone, board, board of directors, president, a core, okay, are decision makers.
Right.
Now that community on site, you'll trickle down, boomers, and all of that. Could you plan bay to win explain it? So kaka real that could chidiakana. Anong chin victim. Kunia could chirikan chimat nong non-profit nong ija jede yang ay twin
could chirikan nong non-profit ku ganong community part.
Yes,
twin a community, but community achimayet abil a non-profit organization. Kuran chimayet abil a non-profit organization akumar America. So, the system towards what we are known as a channel Google in the US government system, the TECA-USA law.
Yeah.
Legally, twin, but in our own local mind, the community as a whole own this particular non-profit organization. We need to get with QMI. So, what I win them, but what you can buy in America. So I don't know, you'll be at your community, no, will you win here my legal system? So, because community and a leader bank, community and a twin, who association, you little bit dissolve at any time, a little bit of an asset to my business, which let's say for me, I can lie on thing, but but ay ne ke win me wo kan win ke ti wo recognized in the US government.
Good point. Kana abuk ka when yen chugulwel yen a personal view a chalwel a explain. Yen background do a chalwel won there a explain. Ngadi kana part 1 a book 1. And this will bring us to the next platform do. Anong kichol one vision. Yung ye vision ye lekoi kichol vision. Kuya vision ye ngo. Kana ka wetwe.
Hey, and Simon, you can lay your question, can it? Work the platform here in working HI tweet one vision. Vision, I die. Something English coin it Google. You can Google it now. Tak, banang tak in a sense. Anong koi ting wan galwele ke kunum de nyentok. I'm laughing because of this. Dalan vision assassinate no mission. Chimen no community organization. Okay, what is our vision really? Every company, every organization and then vision, every organization and then mission, every organization and then values or value. The vision niya tangan. Although question is specifically to the vision. Why you vision day into the organization. Doing Jana Gol, when you can all 2016, no tree left behind. The no tree left behind is because community HAT, who guy who call Ben Unity Book Bay, which Iran one. I want to tell a jai, Kerbulutuni do a Chibella twin, can a community. Wachin twin Chibella left behind a Chimakam the Twitter at the time, you be wo Jewel Ben 2019, A1 office. A book with Jenny Tingle platform, K twin no left behind. Achi accomplished, although achi wochelo achi bulu tu chelo achi maktam achi mare katoke maktam to gokulelo okay maktam kini yung chelo we looked into it, we saw unity achi bay but mission kini streamline in a way to be a streamline. So gokulelo okay we know what the mission is. God, all of these things I got in the first platform in 2016. We know what the mission is. What should be our vision? You will be in the vision in Bukadam. In the vision is to actualize the mission in the vision now. So we will look at our community here and we will look at the community back home. Developmental program through education, through health, vision. The vision is community in the United States must be financially literate. So financial literacy will be the core of the community of us in the United States as part of the vision. By the time we leave core leaders, at least majority of us understand how the economy works. From expert within tweet, others we can borrow. How to navigate the economic system in this country. A part of that vision. The other one was by year 2, high school be a boarding school. A part of the vision kan. By year 2, benang musik patin lubuk renovated panagwar. I part of that vision here. So I look Ben to when you kitchen kankaro I don't know about to buy pumping. Go to cool popcorn go chibeto. Go musik pa ko buku renovated panagor go chira beloy. Go resource go toward relief. That part of the vision to do any of those things, a kirabe beloy there. I look Ben back to the United States. Kawoka unique leadership is September 2019. Hunyaki Woga Luika Lock-in 2020, Kawoka community was shut down by March of 2020. We would have a way Ben Kuluku gathered up. Kaga Kuga identify the way by year 3 at least. all our children are engaged, we will bring them to the community. By then, we'll be a way to a community that is fully registered at year 3. The vision. So now I'm wondering what is vision? Obviously, planning. Vision can. One vision obviously is tweet, and this one vision who vision can include other people. I can't just the United States. I will call Canada be a part of it. I will call Australia be a part of it, and we be a part of it. And all of us at one move together toward accomplishing these goals. That's where the word one came from. So we wanted to be one vision, across the world coming together in one way to actualize these ideas. Because it's been a challenge to Twi community at the time in Itaú. That is where one vision came about. I am in war in Chanben, Ulala Chidung, one vision in action. Challenges are Kinja. Although Burato who quite what in the team chip, we have to still keep on actualizing the vision itself. So the word action, we are in action to visualize, to actually accomplish this vision, or to at least be part to carry out the vision itself. So implementation of the vision indicate the reason you want to join one vision in action. So I didn't want to change it because one of the challenges, we challenge the community. Because the vision that you identify was still good, although we still need to provide help, relief to people, Mangala, who will a part of that vision. We still need to provide education assistance through supplies, educational supplies, children. We still need to empower women through between hope from us. The vision what one vision and action mean. Again, the reason this matters to us, in my view, is that our community itself is known for Tampil. Where you've been, you should be patting yourself in the back because Manjiamo one of alam. Well, through a good planning, a good vision the Garang Ajak, you buy baby. They want another vision to through vision. Before that, before you get a number in the 1940s. Vision that young do it that you work in us today. So if you think of it all the time, Twi is always thinking. We're always visualizing things we can do in the future. That is the reason you want to join Twi One Vision, and that is why we want to say action, because we truly want to actualize that vision. That is where all these come from. I know a reason, we got on a basis, but the basis is we want to implement the strategic planning for 5 years. That planning akin to. So it's still in action, it's still being implemented. Why we need to list implementation, actualizing something, or being in action and trying to do something. So we're trying to make sure that this vision is realized. I think the reason you want to join Twi One Vision in action.
Wow. A change into attack. I like
there
that.
You go. Change into attack.
Change into attack.
For the word in action, is separated. We are in action of doing this, of actualizing this vision.
Very good. Let's come to this. I just explained Twi One Vision in action. Now you know. We're going to die. Thank you. Question in Manyo. Now, question to Katirma Garpin, who Bangadi, Batian, Oh, Bati Garang, Kubalagan, Bagot Badishwa, and the Tabal Bano, opening the question. Now, pretending Kawinchil Wilton, Kaloga Tita and Ma, the channel question, Kachak Totan, a car Bankowagian inside, Kubugarang Bake Bear. Kene, be what teach Choya, now look at escape Katak with sequent Liboar. Kene and be I stick one for now, but question open. Kene and a court, bring a Kirki with tea, Beloni appeal. go ban yen ka ran ba ping yong lwe wed ka ba ko ya in chale cha wed cha ti jare. Thank you so very much. A chance ka ben we ku ma ke wodi we ko ke dai ka weda rakin biag de shabab anong kichol youth engagement kana ka ben ka hot topic from you to your opponent which jam ni wedi youth engagement, youth empowerment. Could they separate the two? In what sense? Yeni yen luel mana de yen youth engagement is important. What is the importance of it? Kuka chama tin yin ka yelwel wen and a bridge between who and who.
Okay. Thank you, Mubiurai. Engagement versus empowerment, and then the bridge idea.
Yes.
And why is youth engagement important? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And again, one in 2019, I always refer back because we're with the true plan. The plan was to include Bukunanga Bible Maktam the youth, who be youth be a part of the leadership. Again, with COVID-19, I will call the region physical meeting an opportunity to participate from region to region. A part of the planning of how we want to empower youth. Part of the leadership. One person to identify the energy to truly work in the sense of engagement. At least few people empower, in leadership in youth. Now, Dana Bulgaren, Dana Tumping, identify one of the people, the recruitment below, could be youth beyond Nang we gather. Lakira Ganima Pure, one of those people, the part of the youth leadership. Hey, a good day, key and they with COVID-19, the plan to go from region to region, engaging young children, we're educating them about the community and their role, because we were not allowed to gather. Gathering maybe October-ish in most places. He bent down on a tree, laid General Assembly on it, and yet already within COVID. Member on Chico Loy, I can load the COVID. One on Koiko Kibera Bay, thank God I'm on one, and she tweet women uniform lunch, Kulo General Assembly meeting. I'm on Kina, she can quite a baby, by the protection of God. But still, COVID eto. Reason, eto, we are then you were yanking within COVID. Majority of the kids came will call Bukurich, Agachin vaccine at the time. A lot of the kids, adults are the vaccine, who kids are the vaccine. So bringing kids out in the middle of COVID was going to be very dangerous for us. That a plan of truly engaging the youth a slow. So I know quite a big teach you jam about engagement now. Who got a Secretary General one. You chen and alone when he was there. Look at the question. Reason is I cannot gather kids in the middle of COVID. As you can see, the first street meeting in Chiraja Loy Elorada Pay here 2020, right? Or 2021. Time is slipping. 2021. So tangi and a reason. Men jamu ke leadership the youth at all. In Makam Nulala Bullet, down what get okay leader the youth. Lakira what okay deputy. Key and you think the next phase is to engage youth. We have given them the idea that Makam Dunenikin, and we need to build it up. Buku more kid, buku baby. So the word engagement versus empowerment. Empowerment in that you would now identify quite willing to lead. We empowered them, we gave them that office to lead. Engaging was to try to make sure that the youth everywhere, Midwest, Western region, Eastern region, we could band together to be a part of this leadership. For this reason, in Guyana, we are engaging youth. So I know the benefit between myself and the person Rani and Kalu at Tim. I want to empower you. Well, I want to engage youth. The reason I want to engage youth is because I've identified folks in that leadership Giving someone the opportunity to lead is empowering somebody. Bringing somebody in to be part of the system is engaging somebody to listen to you. Betting you benefit youth day. So a difference between engagement with empowerment.
Bridge.
Why is youth important? What do I mean by bridge? Okay, youth and yet communities when they are powerful. I communities here quite deep. Okay, ben who reach a coach. One and yaki rieke to ya team, Linda Dio, Linda Kongor. Reason here, is to bring this new generation into the fresh. Who look a bad train, a go ring the Benin, ring the Chan Patagan. The ring a terra, killing room the rich right? Something like that. Can you community down to what in it? Quite get I got you more of a younger generation. Who quite to him of your I got you way. Quite until opinion. Until demo who on to Jeki. Majority of these people are much older. Who Mirken atom. But Mirken are part of the community. Any community gathering you Latin. Theating I quite young people, not people like me, which are young anymore. But young people quite can live in Yinko Loki Ali. Kukito, the reason you can live what you're non-man community then. They're living in two systems. I think Benwur, the guy African, I South Sudanese, I take. I Adiok, I Ayuel, I Koma, to talk a wood. I like a Biba, then I Americans. I jump to America, I ping American ideas. Whenever we have a community gathering, I talk it are tuned out because of quick welcome. Because we're talking about our culture, we're talking about the struggles in Luda Kaipo. Who can you a car? Look at part of the system. Now, the word bridge. Bridge does not mean you bridge together. You know, Tom Chrom, Wakaba, Bukubutao. I am really yin, majority of your children get to the tree. A lot of them, I feel American because a lot of them are get Kabajan. I quite majority of the folks can turn 18 now and they're more. I mean, you can get 2020, 202, 203, 204. If my math is correct. The quiet, I quit a way to get into the community. The person, Bikala Ping, we never joy bridge. What is going on in this system in Turkey? Because when I came, I to the KCPE, into the American high school. So I went through what every young person in this country goes through to high school. I've gone through all of that. That sort of understanding at all, the peer pressure at all the issues will the Vietnamese face at all in that environment. Language barrier at all. The way to communicate because when by an event now in the system, good news and book around when you went until in the high school. Language it's going to be different with that. But these young people are caught on when what their challenges are. I let it okay. Yin, if you want to succeed in college, in high school right now, you must be this and this and this. You must do this. You must be prepared to do any of these. I beto college in order to get a job, you co-op, you must have an internship. The way we can talk, the body language, for that, because you can't take it, let's say, train yesterday, because the way to handle myself will be very difficult. But you, who has gone through it, knows exactly how you can cope with pressure, how you can cope with life itself, how you have to lock your brain and go check with your mission and be not focused on. That is what I mean by bridge. That's what I mean that I understand them better than Kwaikok in the community. Not that I am better at Chenikal, is because I know the system you make it through. So the bullying that happens. Can you get down to their bridge? With that, KN and between the community, which are these kids. That's what that bridge means. And if I together, the Kalabaka community.
ayelwel yin on experience yin bo ka yaran chungwan. In that case ka yin ya gone through a lot, yin lo high school by it and yin lo college by it and mentorship a chatting yet no en biran chit ka mit ka bi en lui fit tin shanu na nong parent kunong knowledge ka nong ajere ka nong way to connect na nong met kunong ajere kunong mentor ka nong way to go straight to the field in a core chima ko jui ko a chima yin lo credit lo wasted ku lomkan ka interest du ken ben shanu mentorship a chito kene yen ga yelo yin lui serve ka ye bridge a go to ka yiran because koi ka back connect where actually fit, and I believe a community a ping ki yen ka be what in a kin resource mobilization a big deal in our community and could be a big deal going forward. Financial literacy kada jam ne ka ki karo ku je akichol entrepreneurship chan ko bi ko akin businesses. Look at Somali aje to ka lo Congress. We are still here one or gatiro wishwaya kega koike kanga diak abin ga jamtin ku tie die ka ke no community en to wontin to e bekang buka yo adi ka bin ga ya resources eto kedero financial literacy woni en chalwele be kan be ngi ro diak business ko woni en entrepreneurship be ya lui fit di in our community because educate goran go nang nit business de ko be mai di kada lewo kingi ne kare
Okay.
we tie de ka ka dia.
Thank you, Simon. Part of my platform, I think jam ke kaki speak ka gam kaya ko call bi community da ke lu ko focusing ato ne question du ni. Aya ta ke doing a resource mobilization, kiro a financial literacy, kiro dia entrepreneurship, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, the bang the resources take down thing in kin. Aya well community da wo chicken da mostly. Aya go golorat te tawantin wonong a church te tawantin na bangdet ko wonong akunum tin de din wonong the community wonong lead community wonong tree community ko at the same time and nga te mama de te jor eldred ku ja ko ke to tukuli ku ko ko gurwa ke ne ko anchin I'm not a millionaire anchin will I depend on the paycheck in ya dom to din loy e kini ku jonyu pin ku jote da mostly through membership in kan kiwo membership long dan to nong ya pin no issue $4 a month in ga chiti to nong an garang ba agam tui I think $4.17 a month $4.17 a month in ga chiti and by agam tui in your paycheck ni that $4.17 a good beginning. That is $50 a year. That is $150 for 3 years. To include the charping year buying it for that matter. But I charping every year okay, 50 at the end of the year. I charping every month okay, $4. You get to the first place here resource for Ben within Kango community. Because of all these issues, challenges, yeah, Golorat, one BWO organization obviously a registered. We're complying with the IRS. Now we've had 990 in 2020. We've been on 990 2021. I had 2023 go now 990 again. In those 3 years, we have proven ourselves worthy of getting any help from any nonprofit organization, foundation, or any philanthropy or charity organization, including the government itself, a little boy in a grant. Resource mobilization working. The number one thing, MI $4.17 in year 2 year, that's where resource come from. The second, donation. Now, personal donation when you need to get to challenges. And then, obviously, fundraising. With all of these challenges, we would get that because we are a nonprofit organization in the United States, ku wo we manadam pa ku manadam kal kal challenges ke to ken wo wonong chin mit we immigrant communities. A lot of us are within the low income bracket, which is in middle class, go South Sudanese majority. Because most migrants actually go into middle class. I can't die, mother guy struggle. I meet Ken guy jalo into a middle class later. The kine in a guy team organization that buku resource for buku balloting somewhere. We can present these challenges that mean buku tower in a very good pathway, go middle class lifestyle, go adapted. Doing that is being educated more, is competing in science, is competing in the American economy with careers when are very attractive to you. Can you get the way and the resource you have away? So resource we have better to the tree. It from your membership, we can been from personal donation, but we have been from grants because we are a compliance agency. We another one registered. We the book grant and the book got. Another idea that you ping who needs into gonna work. That's where the resource come from. And number one on the way I see resources to move forward is that we should not depend on my $4.17. We should also go elsewhere. We could think manang to review more resources there. I go all these kids get to know more opportunities to participate in other programs, summertime programs, mentorship conferences. I go expert. I go hire. I go long time. We can take them to a college tour, take them to a high school, or even chattering somebody who be look at them be in those opportunities. Also, I go because mission be me the chin balance. I bought from my $4.17. I bought from having to write grant that truly identify the needs in the world. And one way of getting resources, you can, and the way that at sea we can get resources. Membership is there, personal donation is there, seeking grant from the American system and the third thing. Can you indicate the way to bring resources to tree? Number two, financial literacy. In America, the economy told in the information economy. Key challenge if you don't know how to manage money, how much I loan a month, and I can attest to it, or any human being can attest to it. We'll call the money up, which you call the money will. Withdraw more tree. I just don't eat in a gam, a thing, event you will have Libirani $100. The life why win cup to get you because it's non careless, it's because we know the challenge that you're talking about. We want to know, we need to know how to invest. The one part of being financially literate. We need to know what tools we need to access in order to be benefit from the system in Tawatin. One in Tawo, one. The team gonna get to Professor Tamakina Alwell, James Conding Majuk, Upper Jomadan Deng Wallow, Akenda Kenya Nadur. These four individuals are the children down. Wow, I challenge the legal face at the time. To the level, you need to start thinking about saving for your kids' education. Because time can be bent, kids could actually look at qualified grant. That was an information sharing within the community. A better knowledge on how these financial tools you can access it. So we talked about 529, a part of financial literacy. Knowledge on how we also talked about what is needed. Expert from other communities. I'm sure no one can watch that on the TV. Then we about planning, financial planning, how you should manage your money. A part of financial literacy. Kake, I exhausted really well community under leadership. We will still talk about these plans. I know other experts will go into the community to talk about these. They are a way of informing us. Around they ping in a benefit. Around they ping who ben could die, who she ignore, who information we utilize. You need a BNP up here. You need a benefit from that. So that is part of financial literacy. Around they don't want that to go on. You need the opportunity to lead. A part of the planning in it, we get part of empowering ourselves in the United States. We must know money. We must know how to manage money in this economy. We also have to have information readily so that you can make decisions when we begin coin. When the interest rate is 6% or more, It's probably not a good time to buy a house because of the interest rate. But years ago, interest rate was at the bare minimum. At that time, I hope majority of the take an opportunity to take advantage of the low interest rate. And that I tell you, you would have an opportunity to refinance in order to drop your rate to a lower rate. I did it. I part of the financial literacy when you look at them. So Upper Jogan and James K came on live video and they talked about it. And they said interest rate is dropping. So I don't watch me a year ago, okay, to start refinancing. So we already were lower. And you know, so I was at, as an example, I was at 3.2. I want it's a time to refinance. I literally went and refinanced at 2.6. So if you look at the gaps, that is what information can give you. That can drop your monthly mortgage by $400. It did it for me. That is how community help themselves. That is what financial literacy is about. Question entrepreneurship. I took identify get part of the plan, which are the kingdom that anywhere we go, who what we. And the child state agent, one loy warali. Kurali chua tinibin, a walwalaetan, a kuwe loy, Ray Bay, Ray Tonyran, for those of you listening. Eben a no way right. Kugaya kuwe loy. Kachirikakan. I and yet I love one of people in the community currently with these capabilities to open small business. These people are actually entrepreneurs. One example person in here, Mama Nyoka, anong online store to develop. Ayan suit ay got. Ayan anything you need when the time South Sudanese ay. Quite you look at the guy quite empower. Empower where? Nanga Atlanta where Mama Nyoka is. Kunong a restaurant. Kunong a small shop. Ki South Sudanese generally or ki mo tweet. Tina golfing or anything a tweet. Dukanena in can waiting to a Kanaka dun car can allow you. Ki jolo Sumusomalin or Bala Tunga bed. One example. One tell a Phoenix. K Elizabeth. Kunyakira good. Anong a Dukande. A team one Mexican I bear with an cake. That is part of being entrepreneurial. Dukande, a South Sudanese. I hope all the South Sudanese or Keto, Phoenix, Arizona, you can call it Raquit. I can't get car can yell you keep your bella to Somalin or a bag. A way of promoting entrepreneurship. Okay? And other places quite Ato within the community. And promoting that, encouraging them, empowering them, giving them all the resources they need. In the sense that Nongan Su Tinka, Ganye, token of Mamanyoka, Ganye, token Elizabeth, the Queen of Kirago, that's where I buy it first. Aliu, Kabajala Quarter money, but a part of entrepreneurship. One of the people non trucking in this within our community. One of them, Imabu Kosia, David Mabu. Achieve this business that you own for maybe 20 years now, or less. Maybe I'm stretching the time. But I keep talking for a long time. When you're going with leadership, good truck, when self-employment and pride. Either pure, good, you get trunk, or truck or you load you from anyone. You have empowered yourself. It's self-employment. I'll be going how we can get to those ideas. I'm part of entrepreneurship. Under the plan and token and Abu Gayakwan. Number one is to buy from them. In the sense of Mamanyoka and Elizabeth. Number two, let's say they need their website developed. Ketui, as an organization, although resources are limited, we should be able to sponsor their website. Our registration, Ketui itself, assistant Ketui should also help them with registration. Anong small training card will be access. Their way be paid to learn a little bit of business there. An idea. Ketui can also do that. And not to forget, Koichi Manyang Aronga, Anong tax filing consultancy or small business. Instead of taking your tax to Mon Somali or any other person in Yinkapuloy, why not send it to Manyangaranga? He probably would charge you lower than what they're charging you with somebody else. Kake guy entrepreneurial promotion I bet I go for themselves. Want to Washington DC and get a dubbin, I will avoid to my bed. Check and nigga tell I will avoid to my bed. Any little things we want, I will avoid to my bed. Could take I took in all those places. You will know those opportunities. So Benny and Carbon Ben. I tell you, Allah Ben, Karana been a benang business. That's not what I'm saying. I tell you, Allah Ben, business is a case struggling or Kwachima Manyoka, Kunong money to go to work, Bagala Joy, Bagala Yenke, bigger Tajilo. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I will help them with engaging you, who are members, to support them, to support ourselves. To support our brave enough to start business, they will call me where I support in the system.
Very good.
Organization that which why not? They can take a loan from us, and we charge them small interest compared to them charging it from the bank. Another way of empowering ourselves. That is promoting entrepreneurship. Achi courier will not grant to you. The China will go grant. The B will not manage in the community. Just small amount of the day lend to whoever wants to do business. We charge a lower interest than what a bank can charge them. That is a way of promoting entrepreneurship. In Indian, they don't go to traditional bank dealer charge outrageous rates. Can it a way for the entrepreneurship? So you may be a couple when I resource mobilization, I financial literacy with your entrepreneurship.
You went through all. Whether a true thing, who catch a coach, I believe in the community, a child like a core ping, who catch a me based on comments, okay, I can think it. Lumangok, a chatty, unong external question. Gut about gut ping, Fabini and Th of a band. Chanan on list, Chalomatan the question, who catch a dig in Adia. Could we win? I personal view and background. Long then, it will. The platform, the next one, be a community relation. But anything could be fit under what? Yakabi, Kakabi, all of it. I don't know where we're quite one, okay, jam, Pianka. When again, I can we jam where Yakatingo will get it done. Can get Yamaya. Can open. Open candidate I roll back. Who manages Kagaga Chakatia. Respond to you, no ranto, could direct a kenna you. The chin could other than that. Community like it took inchi the Barach away. Yam Chirkalo Garang, I'll be at the Medango, a little below. The question here got tea cake, Kagalaba tea. Lucky I cannot make him do it. I cannot. So can you get a laying in Iran Jama? Can I get your old whale, but your old bear? Every town, chicken on the Loimo Bureau Dow. A community, yin core, who book a Jollot, Yenelati. They jam, Jollot Benya. Abung order for interviews are not, Isum Shinde. Debate and what cover ban, and call the election to. Away we're developing non bank one. Nekawen Chiro Loy, Chapping Chia Bull Sunday, you got Man Mador, Manadeka, young China Temi and Fursa, non Fursa day. The Yakawan, a Chukuyan condolences, who Kachin in the Antinya, who called a more Kulatwing, Chimani, and Chini and Guire. Therefore, Kiko bro low near Koji, and more to charge a law. When more to Koj Kato, Kenny and Luella Abukoj, a chan Kenagachiro Loy. Eba Baita Nim Queer, the Chir Kitchen Ran, Chikar Naran. We care for each other, we community. Bang Wicker, Ekadawodia. Bantam you quote me out, Yenagabia Bandawodia, Wobla Twing turn. Kenaka were paying to your attention, bucking me, what on the top, Loy Ekadapanda. A year and Dura take away. To do a lower, because the yen a jag out quite yamni. Shukran Jiden, which are late, which are question one. Yanga the god, Nachi Benatar, bear, about gut pinch, question, when am I yok? Check a chagat pin, Tadek of a ben. A cabal of Tinin Garang Ajak. Kak by resource mobilization kujela ajede entrepreneurship ajalwel kujalia ajede important of financial literacy ku business kawan ke telebi ko nyiro bara na long de lo bai le bu ko nya di ke ko ne ke to bai ke le bu ke ko nyudi
Hey,
chir man la bor le belew ya di a question there kan
hey, the developmental kujara relief part of the mission chimen chi wo yekadam chimen God that we must help people with health and anything that the bepana ti bula twin chani ne ke tiom da tanto women men when chana go planning any chuku lo ya ko bu tu pa ko ben boarding school will be our support by us or as a combination between you and the United States everywhere in the diaspora. I am part of that vision. Bora chibe ben ku the create ben apa the three thought if I can remember correctly ke win an chi kwin yi ke deng ya ke deng chi sura da ke share ku commissioner da chi law to 85 islands ke cheng tui ke to yo ke ka kwon ki ku ja tu we panagor ima bi ni la panagor wa ni dai chi go le tie
yes
ko ya ke to na bang wer nyon ato game no so tui men dia mo in ma bi tui a chen ba wo chen ba wo ka to juba event every week tui aloi event ke juba wo ka to golia tie choi min kaman wo ka to mangala ni ke tim ke mangala cho kaka ja ke tingi ma bi ro
yes
kara men dia mo ko wo tui today to know it's very challenging okay quite ko why ke pen in sometime the thing in pinda ke je to yetan wo je chen bai wo je a quite rock in a sense a bore yento a me kyo karete historically a bore ben ku jin a gat bore power bore to know kaka le big reference historically the three a bore nan won but bore chi three bore now is very different. Kito niya bori anong ki Western countries wow. Enjoy climate change. It can one factor the ento. Years ago, 2018, in a sense, 2018, I got to be part of a group that was presenting climate adaptation planning because when Janaway with the offshore agency, so we want to look at risk libiki our platforms ku infrastructures offshore kaka jak America can be affected. One of the things that was discussed is intensity the hurricanes okay were affected. They will be more intense. We will see more category 3 or category 4 hurricanes. Kaka I normal things I because of climate adaptations climate change issues okay similar to Kunlu Road tweet. In the report that I saw, we're going back to 2018. It was presented at NASA. They were going through, NOAA was the one, not only NOAA, but NOAA was the one responsible for this. And the location was here in Houston at NASA. Kichibet Benap is that the Nile Valley will always flood. Historically, the Nile Valley, which is where we are, which suit, 23, be outboard all the time due to the fact that climate has water, the temperature in the Indian Ocean actually increased by at least 2 degrees or 1.5 degrees. Malek, I'm going to try to give you a background to the question.
Okay.
By 1.5 degrees, that means evaporations are more rapid than usual. And then this evaporated water, or, are being pushed to inland, of which there will be more intense rain than historically known. They will be actually more than historically known. Could this area be flood because of more water we're going to see than they should? Deng I plan could do you could do Deng I would the people to traditionally. But because of climate change, a lot of this will happen. So Kubikana board in Central Africa, we all know, in East Africa, Lake Victoria, there are 14 rivers into Lake Victoria. All the 14 rivers majority of them coming from Central Africa. I law into Lake Victoria. I didn't include rivers which you could Lake Victoria, Lake Victoria, Ngobi. I think Ngobi, Uganda, Pua, Galileo. I think Uganda, Pulio, where are we? It will bear board. So Pulio, you could dig historically, because we're part of this climate system, we're getting more rain than we should. We can also be more drought than we should before. Than before, because that's what climate change is. Then we flip from wet to dry. A few kapana tree get up in, just historical floods or a loy, and because of this, all of this scientific background, and I've explained in a way, you never get bend. How do we truly manage it? It can actually be managed from a community level. Our board itself is not a community issue, it's a country issue. And it's not even a country issue, it's a regional issue. And it's not even a regional issue, it's a global issue. As you can know, to take people out of this community discussion, and we go to climate change and climate adaptation strategies, keeping them in place. We are part of this process. What caused global warming? It's a chemistry equation that quite no background that can understand it. Something happened to the horizon because we're burning more fuels. All of that at all. Who is burning more fuels? Industrialized countries. So unknown funds you can put aside, or at least they're trying to put funds aside for poor countries to deal with climate challenges. That's where we are. Can I explain the Benin? How does tree community get involved? But the Agloy Tiang more viable is going to cost you a lot of money. We can try, but it should be sustainable. Mm-hmm. We have a plan to manage water. Few themselves are blessing. I live in Houston Airport, but I live aboard 2 days. Could you? What you board from 2019 up to now is because we are a poor country, which in good planning, it happened, we are on a tree in Jabor. Who ain't to tell South Sudan thing? No, I rescue on the way. I rescue on the way, look at caught a little bit of thinking, a little bit of innovation. Buku Jamarut, Kuwoti, Buku Nuit, Buku Tea. The few one she jelle. Yet the Indian are more drier than the other. I can't even 85 places I'm going to get. But actually accessible to everybody. I quite want you to call who got you pew that you gab the guy quite can. Majority of the tree a toe, the bike okay. Key in the Number one, I South Sudan a country when thinking about development, the water management process a little low. And I'm not talking about the Malay Canal and other political things that can call big low. Tree itself, a key kira number that you got it, I don't know. East of that, they're more drier. West of it, in the Cape Pew. Garang Ajak, Alibijam, will be quite a east of the Malay Canal. A planet tree can get it. A chair planty, what you could a Deng, what you could a Mamaria. War community organization is to support that planning in the Kekulubuloy. Kubutri Benang by on the eastern part of the canal, rather than look at the west. I think climate which badly sweet me whenever that happens, we can always go to that. It can be tree law, can be country law is to make sure the pew big away appeal. With it, better bam a little bit. Now about too much pressure water can to lake it. That is you bappy back away bang the east of the canal. Could be pew big which out there don't be at the that sort of operation. A G3 as a community actually because we're talking about millions of dollars. Well, she community organization in Yamanti near Kula. And I child will that would be a very, very good lie to get your vote. You cannot get your lawyer. we can fix this particular issue. And as part of the United States, to give me a leadership, I will be part of that planning. To be a part of that planning. Will be that part of that. Will be a part of that planning. TNT are tingly be board managing can. Another part in the West is to talk about how to keep on and to keep you reacting. What is truly is not an historical thing, but it's because of climate change. So we could advocate for climate adaptation funds. But those money actually been to a community organization like ours. I'll be to a country. Or I'll be agency from a country I'll be managed to try to solve a board issue. So our advocacy in the United States, I'll be raising up to give people awareness that by keep you real, pure historical things, I think that are climate intensity with climate change intensity bad. Therefore, our country need to be helped. That is what we can do to a citizen in the United States to advocate and to make it an awareness in the U.S. Congress that keep you because of climate change. That alone is the only thing we can do. We contribute to South Sudanese community. That is how I really want to deal with Kaka board. Again, get displaced. I know a plan. While Minichula Mangala, who under the leadership of Lalabun, Kuja Deng Tiodit, who Deng Choriak at the time, Koi went to Ben Mangala, I could chick a donkey can wait. A leadership, HH in Mark, Ugamu, Kubuku Tipaya. Go pay one getting it. Gol. Reverend Munaro, a regular word, they brought their part of the fundings. Hotel together will look away donkey. That is exactly what community development should be doing. That's the part that I really want to play still to support any initiative. There's a gap. Keep you displaced. I'll be ready to question education. So go supply. We made sure we can South Sudan. We could be slow down. We could do compared to other kids. And that's something I still would want to support. To a point, under leadership, that will my we want to expand that. One year is at the bed, work resources go point in raising those funds. Their mission to Mangala or whatever but resources supply, pencils, sanitary materials. I really still want to play in that space. It is a way of sustaining people who can hope. Because me that I don't koi kita, I don't koi da memkin. Can you get the position that community should serve in? So relief is still going to be ongoing. But our board would be seen from a tacit point of view, from a country level's point of view. But our contribution would be advocacy to raise this awareness in the West that work will keep you displaced. So I will try to work on the relief, deliver as we always do. And I will also try to recruit and identify people with a very good way of advocating for issues when we got affected to get in contact with the U.S. Congress. Not me. Every one of you has a representative in the state they live in. You can write a letter. This issue is and it's affecting my family back home. And I want some answers. If a citizen can do that. So I'm not saying we will raise our hand and I will mobilize you. We will go to Congress. I can do that. We could do that. We can get our nicho to kilo in the Congress in the Bapa Yotonko. Your idea. Kuping, ramping in. Whether Bijalu implemented or not, can you just you. But I you with a group of people, you should read different congressmen and we can discuss because I think it's all in Minnesota, they're hearing it in Michigan, they're hearing it in Texas, it's an issue that people are talking about. They can have a point of discussion and quite a change. So, you need a question that will kind of be.
Where to bear to the max or to the point in Kora quite big yen ping. Where to catch your ping a chew bad looping. Catch a little my pew. It will be Latino go nong by for now while we live with water. ngadi can relationship with water biya the development and young or ko ni ko tin ko ga ti we ke ka ton wori ke ka ton wan ti jwe great point fa kana ka ko can will bring us to the next uh, level part 3. Part 3 abi wo jam tin ma two parts a chitok ke ka ka jirot ping we ko no question ngor ko tit ma and be and mo ngor ga do chen fa kana ka ben ke ya ka ban ben tin yin ban gar community da no jam example is agreement ataw ne payamati ataw ne local buma say how will you or how could you maintain unity among these people?
Okay. Hey, Nabil. Thank you for that question. Yen kito, chiman wen channel well community da, anong a community who can non-profit who might take up the NGO, yen monazam you created. So part of the community in a disagreement of them. For those disagreement, I members are contributing their $4.17 a month to tweet. The Kenya is slowed down because of those disagreements within their own communities or within their own payam. Kenya unique about this. All these payam analytics is registered as a non-profit organization for Tumnum Katwi. But members Katwi, who members can lead item. That's where I was saying community, non-profits, community, or even boomers. You are a non-profit organization, I know that for sure. Non-profit organization, I know that for sure, since we're talking about NUAC. It is that a non-profit organization. Those non-profit organizations are parallel to non-profit organization of Payamto, which is I know when I'm sure as well, since we're talking about NUAC. Kaka I issues a keto. Ki ene wore a community. Ki ene wore I members. Kitokin community to be around ben ke let's say uncle ben ba community the tree ba loy. Ku ka china wata ye jwar kwanchin pulinto. Ya na wata ba bay. Kita way to live to be together and to be respected to one another. Because ki ene power community is one kaben I people. People can guide the power of it. But people which get discouraged. Therefore, each lawyer within the Payam a little bit be affected. Can get facts. So, Allah Ben the chairman of the community in this regard. Those issues actually could be ignored. Because my member in $4.17 a day a month. When I get the community they need. Kayen actually benang interest to pay that membership fee when you card. So in the example of NUAC, I know issues. Their disagreement can ben. Could that disagreement continue? That is a fact. Agano representative that's also it's a fact. Those group ake ben malwal kugereng. At a point when you beginning it, Ben together, you are represented. Actually, we disagree. We got two separate leadership. The way to manage it, tried. As I remember, it's a fact. You are going to know. No quite no grandma pure agar, but no quite to Malwal. As an example, I know the communities in that way. Both people are to members. For those members, I to a good point. And for that, we value both members. A book of try to bring them together. That we value the thing. So, before I left, because I need resignation letter to Gamin, when she bought them the application. So I don't know what's going on now. Actually, to solve this issue, which you would think in Malwal, Queen Garang. Both of you went on two leadership, could we sees it this way? Kibrolo appeared back a band together. Kwan Koikun, could band together to solve this issue, because this issue will be solved through going to an election. Could be community that you have to bend and call who bending a blood bend tree. In the way he handled it. About 1 at 10. I get Ben K. Kiki in your car, Brokana Ping, and most people who that's what I really value about community service. Is that all of us, in the sense of the community, we have one of a part to play. A chin member is more important than the other. Kwachiran won't call be a tension ping. Kwachiran call be a good. Kwachiran call be a really nigga yini. Kwachiran call be a young because kinga chinjinang power kid. Those things, in my belief, are healthy for a community such as ours. Are healthy. So, KN Garang Kirim Agali persist. Kikalibeleke members of Getokani in Garamapura Akar cake. I want them to participate in tweet. Members of Getokani in Malmanya Akar cake, I want them to participate in tweet. For that, wake Luai Kador could tweet a bit on the Kamkun. Ugachiran, che favored than the other. A Kukulagak. The being annual and get this because of this, will and legitimate because of this. Three actually be a part of that. Three cannot choose sides. Three will have to be in the middle, and three will have to work to bring them together. Because I need both members, well, I'm called that $4.17 from each and every one of them. Because organization down, because of people, what because of the members. So Abba got the point that the way I will handle this unity. You need to know example one. The lawyer would have your or lawyer that which is your tree. Liberal lawyer is number one, not choose a side. Could be issue we can understand. I had an election who lekar can a ban no way to discuss it, could be got it convinced, could be got it respected, could be a way to fix that. Could lawyer come a marabit to could quit a committee. When the treatment here will ban and not be a man because let's say until you win. Quite one chala Tim, I'm going to know because Tamtil ban Kenya Berangwan Chikor, be a yellow creative. So you have to bring a committee in to look at this issue. That you look at the way they do order that respected. So Krinya Kuleto, we have an opportunity. Every a system where they can all be jointly put together with that system until they can bring one leader in particular agreement.
So let me reiterate on that and according to what I'm understanding to Nangin I will you understand. Chopping, just example to know where we're calling you. Don't take me wrong. Example in a kagam, cause non after. But you are got non cockity who cockity. Kanaka Yinia, that's just an example. And you are not guinea pig on you. I'm just saying. The example in a gam. Kubaka Lomwaya. A yellow mana dig yen, you are a chukugam, a jay tech. A bagato long, bagato long, a chan be a hole. Can you a car broad gum, who brought ping, who below, could tree a bucket your support, a cheat a chill on a lawyer. A chinra le between Yinaka them, Yinga Yinaka tower very eld by Koika Koika. Therefore, a car begin you will go ahead then, Kutulka, Kubati, Kulel Shukuran, Loydun, a chakaloy. Non Kichaboan, and Yakichaleli.
No, I didn't get out. Yenike Tiana White in Kan. It's part of the fact that organizations are called people. Organization quite based on having people together. Organization quite I courtesy because I could take the main thing. Galoni in a mission. You quite want to get to the team to win a get describe. And for that, we have to value everybody. That is, everybody is important in the community. All of us are needed by this community.
Where got you call ya, the United States, till the bean caught my thing, the chinban, Kayaban, the Miag, Yanakakuan, and being touched by Can Babel will. Whether working, Kabu Glare, Elwoy, do when a koi cock. koi chirma me koi chirtiodi bakke balu ke budi in this sense kujala kut da ban biyo to ni juba
Hey, key and Peter, thank you, my dear. Quite okay. No, we can be like a could have been to Juba, right?
akuda ban biyo mamariya Australia tiodi Canada ye nen ban biyo di fi juba kujala ban kok gon kok ken ko rich ku yiji bato ko ka tu mato
Hey,
together a relationship
again, vision the tree. It goes back to part of the vision. Part of the vision recognized that tree at all in different countries. Tree in the diaspora, a little bit in man, who took. A chiron loy calm down one Australia, ku Canada. One top and ding choria, well, a Q donkey way together. That's an example of collaboration. I want to Bob and Mame, can you guys travel together? Like Juba, Kulaga Quite Azeru, Dike and Nicolorot, Kukati talking away Gamma K. Example of collaboration. A chuku small thing which you could beg. Could be my maid, Katine, Kuba Denga Chodi Kanikatin, Kapat, the Academy with Trico. So, TNQ will live in one. Could to be improved in. Quite yet to break that relationship. No. It to make it better. Part of the planning now in what is to continue working with those teams. Any leadership to be in Australia, bring it to the global, to the diaspora desk. Looking at issues that you Mangala, you communication to cool, you walk it to, you puke issues, whatever the issue is. Kubuku nyuka de tukulele kiyine yen baka forward. One, kichuku lewa bukwal buka tau musay pai jibin kan mame ku logo watch speedboat. A collaboration kan. So part of working together is to buku resource ko ya pull together ku luiku the needs ke korge luiku identify ku duru ke get. That plan I am what I know anything else that I could think of. Be work improve work more resources ke kina bro eto bang de koi ke juba ke kai koi the closer to the ke kai koi closer to the issue lo that anong view to you do ke you get your water to something that is true majority of to juba ku ka to under biura ja when you go lo ke asigite makta no lo bullet you know the first person that you contact on leadership then quite I be ben ku nyu ku to ku yukuma you ben juba de ti ku boko ga Australia boko ga Canada ku loku ku jam ku issues lo to affected angeke ke aborchien e chi wo lo together a lot that sort of collaboration ngot ke beto anong anything le buku loy let's say kaka boron anong tang chi we atito really we man disin yung le bakatai kra bor man disin to Canada man disin to Australia koi get to Juba close to the issue I get been together to try to figure out a way we can work this out kagato so that same plan a little bit ki broja loy now is the strategic planning in kiliba diet the strategic planning a planning that includes who will build benang buy-in, big ding theory benang buy-in, bemameria benang buy-in, to go to the leader then, could be quite told you madin, it's a board board town, they are buy-in, including quite a panago. Plan can you between coin. Kurani yen biam sul and that. Erani in a bend tree in Egypt, Ranchiman Yonga. So the other wife three a little bit of guy to the young Jack, who quite closer to the issue, the kind of big way and data on how we can work together. But we have to have a strategic planning for community.
Very good.
The way I want to see it.
Okay.
In 2022, 2024, twin up in the bin, kidney and the issue in the team who can get a boo. I book upon a nyai pewy, and get a boo luitin. I book me what a pig and get a boo luitin. I would now say back that's sort of plan you 10 ben you a society without having a plan. The reason the United States is strong, believe it or not, all these agencies that get told are non strategic planning. The agency I work for, are non strategic planning from Obama's time, buku lunyi to Trump, ku war ka chi Biden na chi loin to. The agency mission has not changed. Kichurot Gate, there's a little bit of politics in there, but majority of the issues that can be got affected America told the same within the agency. Same thing with Twi as a community worldwide. We can have a strategic plan where Twi win a true leadership knowledge, we can engage, we can bear together. So a part, number one, we work together to work to diaspora to give resources back, collaborating with Maktam Debir. Critical is to come at a very high level, Kubuku worldwide, Kubuku team within this country, South Sudan. What is our place? How do we overcome challenges if Toman? Because they are closer to the people, we're planning where we can have a long vision view of how we can survive as people. How do we book you back in there? Ugandese now. Book you back in there. How do we sustain, how do we maintain our culture toward you? Be non-profit organizations or communities such as ours, and other communities who have a bigger view of how we see our future. Tiana White in Kanu.
Ayen acha ber kichidong kitin ko ke batieja neighbors ato such as Bor, Duk, Chech, Longtu, Nongadi, Liap, Nuer, Murley, neighbors ko. How can we network with these people?
So, with that relationship with our neighbors, in Kinping, a kin could decide at Bukuja, our neighbors actually, or Bukula Rerumundarin or Kwaikok. We have not decided that. So, Jerandu, in the Keran, 1 year in P, 1 year in Koi. So, obviously, we have to live nice when Kwaikabur County, Kwaikadu County, Kwaika Kirko, Etimurale, on the eastern part, appear Bukunang, good relationship with them. Can actually be done way in the sense of the strategic planning when you are real for tree generally. How do we relate to everybody around us? A part of your survival, Kiran. The king, I'm sure, you will be doing it neighbor doing to bang tweet, being a neighbor doing to bang chiam, to go to Nico Chien, quite across from you. You have to know those people. Where are when Bananka, where are comfortable to read anything. Luckily enough, quite to bang the tweet, bang the cham. Kubang toit, I quite a jim, quite on the east, Kakache jim. Oh, quite on the other side, I will be affected with my way to Manuel. I'll look a book of Mark Duke, medical work. Can I have a good plan also to look at how we can combat those things? Good God, bro, there's not one time, well, I think everybody understands this. The B would judge or one day kujuku murale jokutiam. We will try, but actually you can't. Watching one day be another jor kuji twiji tiam kurian chirabelo. Case in point, Arapachator getting mobile a lot. Kuka kin getting mobile kin betiam. Same thing, what you got what you got in for kin go bet. Well, it's about a door and it's about a way to go. So we must also think about strategic way of how we can live with our neighbors through peace and reconciliation. Can you get it?
Well, Piet, so we need to recognize each other, respect one another, live together. Kubuka rungi the relationship betau abuka ruda name kuyoko chat the one ke yo wokalati. Kubuka ruda ting. Mon jang mana okay, but koyoko che jianka akwaru ka mari chang. Ngeke chirki chaping nongi. Nongi chada.
No.
Very good. Apia kabati jakin kajwe ka chake lwel le bagat yamudi.
Tim neka ki jibin I quite. Hey, you and I, when we have peace, when we have respect with one another, would value. People ideas which you pick chayi. Which you got in helping you think you won't tear around and can you cover loyalty. This idea we gauge, we proven that a little bit. That is the only way to be by respecting each other and by valuing everybody. It comes back to people. It comes back to valuing people, and that's what the definition of a community is, in my opinion. It's where people comes together with one mission and one cause, which are one relation and identity in the community. In that, everybody is together. The way to do it. The way to be it. Look at it humble. We Garang Ajak this is that everybody ideas matters.
Achiko word bakang Yahudi kabin ke luoy le baloy.
Kakaloy, people again. A year ago, my $4.17, and if you round it up, $50 a year. If you round it up, every 3 years to keep $150. Number one, area of resources. Number two, mama pa jong di bai den kene. Anong chin tangyen tui miot $500 or begam $1,000. Koi chiri kaka atom. And number two. Number three, grants. Buku system and tawatin buku utilize really well. Kubuku issues that can work affected buku streamline. Kubuku presented to the system and tawatin go down the way to be work one. There are 3 ways of getting resources. Number 4, between the assets. Go those assets go resources go buy in. Let's say man ku tap ku wote. Kulele each family the triben a quarter de rune. Ku yin wo 500 ki family. Let's say 800 families, you multiply that by $800 or by $500. Go work with a good amount of cash we can use to purchase an asset. But that asset in return can bring money back to tree in the form of a center. Anongo center now, Kalabuku event ke bula loimia to lewo law Des Moines, Iowa. We will rent a center. We will pay so much money to that center. I could tweet Louis paid for the center. Louis route it in a way that toward assets and in resources. I know community that Martin, let's say community that win, or the community that Padang, or the Kiribor County, or the Kiribu County, when I'm and then below could on a center. That they will pay tree instead of Kawaja de la Cor bigger pingular. That itself is a resources. There are 4 ways of how we can generate resources to our community. There's a 5th way. The 5th way, when entrepreneurs are told. Now I will support. Because when they file their taxes, they will look at their cash flow imbalance with the federal government, with the IRS. KN is always good to donate, so your goal will drop in the sense of paying more taxes. We'll lay the claim on the other side. Any money, any $100 you give to a nonprofit organization, you can get $60 back. So, one can empower. Let's say Mama Nyoka to empower. Wake up, I ever what? Come here, I'll lay taxes the thing like a pit, but we donate a tree. I'm getting resources. Now I took Elizabeth Kirago, which you support it. I am your Tomboy and taxes. Kalabananga game tree. In a get animal beautiful see. I took support. Which you will show more people will go into trucking. Actually, more people will go into trucking and they're owning a personal business. Look at the way the big tree bigger can bigger point. Achi manyangarong which more taxes to file for us. A year on 50, it's better than again. When instead do you and charge 150, you charge $80. More people. Come on, young me will tax and we can file like a banana game tree. A 5th way of getting resources. All of these bases, the kind of communities we get. In the United States generally, a personal donation from people, a donation from corporations, a donation from Ramun Piomier, a donation people I will buy one communities, call a winner get I told the ping. Then getting a will I am here surprised to get a very big check from someone because I'm here. The way to get resources in a sense. For all of these resources, bring into the community. For your mentorship, you bank. kuyoku their issues, kubuka routed into a path where they can be more competitive in the United States. Right now, the most competitive, the number one competitive career in the United States is IT. Because we work from home, and these systems are called we can manage. All the data centers are called a lot of computer programmers. With more people bank, a little bit $4.17 in your car a month, a little bit pay over on top of that. That's how you could gain. So to sum it up, people.
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
People can sum up in the sense of where to get resources, but through all these mechanisms.
So what a pinga chalwelton, if I got it right. I will now but through people, quite I asset. Resources, I agree you to non quite not quite kitchen dan you. Quite create ben loy. Real, ego quite you kai yinin, kai biok, kalabien, jalo, ki yellow na loy.
Right.
Kaka, I quite to non me to get your banner, law college, the man. Le bucket low na duck woody when I could go back in. Kukoilo High School.
From me, actually, we are only that. A little go elementary school. We can engage. We are part of the community. Local go elementary school can be community there. We involved until we college, until I let to college me. So when we took care and can are part of the community. I let them the you me bend back and you can pay membership to the community. I know any connection to you can let down the community. I think well Ben a basketball player. But thank God we will get a bigger check than we had wished for. I value why we need to keep everybody engaged in the community, in that system. So bang the mir, kuyoko bay in, kuluke, because in Mobile, mir, issues either go around junior high time. In a myth, you're not discouraged. Nanga be abi by, kubuku you by when connecting with them, not parents. Manduku miruka copy, ang milk and more pit. Chira nigga accused of that. But may the call another child, another friend to hang with. May the call another idea to engage them. To balance skill and learn to click who can be you by. So I know a place where they hope to go. When you need to Deng and conquer away the more summertime. It can no Camilla thing. We go to the beach every year, we don't miss it. It can get away the more that it beat it. Who in a part in Houston, one on children program, and she covered it to be interrupted because we didn't want to keep kids in one place. The kaka they look forward to. It didn't pure about community, about their values. Who that is a conducive environment where they're not thinking about bad stuff because Louis Coque to tea. Kaka yaka ting Australia, I can't know your families get Australia capable. It's because it's really, really hard to change someone at a high school level. But Ben around that pay when Chenum to pay. So I watch it Ben when kids gravitate toward things that you're good. Take attention to you, indicate you learn. So I took a community back into their attention. Because what we can bring in the community is good values. It's education. You're proud tree, or you're proud Ranaduk, or you're proud Ranabur County, because I don't think we will segregate in that sense. From region to region, we market together, and this I believe grow up like one unit. In this regard, they become friends, interest at all. Among them, there is someone thinking about engineering. What should I do now in high school? I engineer. Well, the one issue I had when I was going to college as an engineer is that I needed to be good at math. I needed to know physics. I needed to be good at chemistry. I needed to be good at this. If you want to be a lawyer, there are lawyers in the community. If you want to be an accountant, we have accountant in the community. If you want to be an accountant, you need to start focusing on this to have a very strong background. Can you get the way you can grow this generation of kids within the community? Their focus now, because our interest, is not to have our kids become part of the gangs. No one wish anything like that on anybody else's child. Nobody wants to think about that. But it can happen. We want our children to have the education they enter in the United States. We want our education to compete with the kids in this country. We will try our best to work families together. We can allow it together. I could do it on my own, but think of it this way. Deng di mana ko da. Araba layer into high school with good students. One time. Okay, the only way to do that, to learn about local Maway community, I can try. But one time, I love romping enemy couple. That opportunity to be kept in the way China will really around when couple. One idea will be your kid a little bit destroyed. Now, the Maway community that get your part. I'll be destroyed. That's why we want to pull ourselves up together to bring this generation together. From that level all the way to college. I think college okay, mention to college, you need to start thinking about internship because a lot of corporations are being teach what experience do you have? One in car and engineering job. I think really we have 1 year experience because I've been a student. I don't know that. Challenges I check the car be me we want to work hard in the way we work into the system. I am mental college. Now community gathering, you will start talking to them. You challenge what do you want? I want an internship. Oh yeah, you need to, in order to get internship in college, be part of the clubs within college. One time I'm part of NESB, which is Black Engineers. So my first internship through those programs. People like Deng Ajak, I think I gave him an example. He's a chapter leader of Black Engineers. He knows opportunities where people can get co-ops. With those things, you serve your community first, but you call a bank. Law, he called co-op or internship from John Deere, John Deere, knows exactly how he can get you there, to a young person. That is what I mean by having kids in the system. I think Kabukala Baker resources is training them to be part in order to be members. By a member of the community, that is what I mean by we want to engage kids, we want to bring them to the community. A community itself will grow. Because I kind of work at who cannot be America, who don't get more did you know, community time.
Ayen, where the Bukojitan, in Garang, what we've been to close and what we've been to the top, quite catcher, which is now 1 hour plus, close to 2 hours a minute, can over it to win a 30 minutes, go can bend the jammy. Kekar ba tie jakin in Japan community tree any jam thin red. Kai rotom, kai discourage, kajuja well. Young key and tuck baben into this mess.
Well, that's a great question. I've been asked, Chan, teach, I don't quite I think young. Kine, in Chilwalabula, Chiri Hepin, ku Messi and Jero Loy bit of Corbinari ko Biakadu. So I am in Garang, in a man pit. I support Batit. Batit, another 3 years, I took even with Dapiamia, Kijala Ben. An overcool team will well about that. Because number one, because need to Louis cut, the disagreement must be there. I told you, Jam when you know the 3 days later, you and I will have an issue. We will disagree. Could that disagreement could you mishandle Kuwacharam? Palakuram can benke issue in you. From what I understand, Tingi and Angaran, a Chiran Jerome Ganaranto. Chiran, you come to in this community so far. I hope you're to be talking. I and you can't kakukulki. I will run a jorot one time. A jorot king tum the bargazal or tum the koikop. So it's a ben. B. Go you hotel, Chario, and it's a dark in a ritual. Go Pachadar, Gare, let's just say that. Go Lula hotel. I'll be to the counter, Kabo. Kuboku jam gonna run hotel uncle room for tonight. Pambalogelo. What I will say room here 100 a night. Well, no, I need to buy can tour, but think many good rooms. Okay, well to do that, I want you to put $100 on the table. go 100 yar pia bi be go on the table ku je good je gala cha e kene ka deposit a chi go la nyar ko 100 kina be ja en fee for that night a kin ka danga ka le ngot ka nong chance be nong geru lo ka lo eto tao table ngot cái en rano hotel en nong kan kene rano mata rano mata mu ben ku bu ting 100 de kedang num ko le yi na yi an ko my 100 ding man go rano hotel go choy le 100 kan rano mata a kai rano ku de be lo ku te 100 pin rano ku de bo ku le 100 ding wana ka ku le ye kin lo rano ku de a kai rano kam tem we rano bo ku ye lawo ye tap ni tini ku der ga to ga le rano bo yi ni kin 100 din wana kan te go rano ku der le ngo lum ku je ben 100 kin bu ku bi te rano ku rano ti mu kan e ni ni gun rano wen bu ku le 100 du ye ni kin go rano go le ka ye thank you dom ku tap ku la rano wen du la cha te le ben bu ku le ku ne amalo ga la twen amu ko ka ba ga la amu lo ga la twen pinyangot ke ye amlo twen so anko 100 go ran hot go le 100 dukan ku jel ara mo biure mo chro lo e ka mi ki lo rat ayu ko ke ter ko ta chin nin ki de ko ta choria ko ta ter bu chwer 100 de tar bel kono go all the issues when they ke chro lo e ka mi go kan ke go chon ku le ko lo twen ki en ka bo le ke ni ti chi jam den ku chin ku che pot ba ya involve ku benang ku ba grab ka pit ba che ryo ni ye chin ki ya tin ga to e te tin ko re disagreement the lawyer ka to most of our communities get to ka woni get to a che ka won lui ga solve ku community tin ga ai ka ga kwat ku kai ka ke koi ke ban ka ba ai to ka ka to issues a chro lawyer obviously so chira le ga deny so ki yen to kene yan ang chi ryo ye jam ye lwele because I think chin ki di chiro lo tin one man ba tin kene one no rally da ne chu lo ke sim my speech cha ga me cha lwele community service is your way to give back because we have a debt to pay ke wo koi to wo koi yang wo koi di wo ko bu community da le twen ke ka chira me ari yo lo ki yen to chắc jam to kuno ngi tinga kun ka la dum ran be chin thao ti so an bo kwang ko banan ga luo kwan chi bu ko je tin kana am lo ga la twen
ayelwe lu ko chen ke kai ter ke kai jam ke kai mushakalat ken ke kai ke resolve big routine gu pengaro that cycle of that dollar explain what is ngade che problem a che solve yin ga changrana to no community if you have to get involved the mushkila resolve machiri ni yen by a part yakan great question thank you daraki in ji kai karo wa cha ke kwan bi ke lui kan yin ticket twen kai karo yungu ni ar nong kai
well ye joy luo ni ran when le being complimented either to be in ba kwan ke your weakness ne ka ye ko ba bridge ku ke kliu ke yin ne ka iran dai ko ya ke ta ke kwan eding arong anyang rana chiwo lu chiwo de ku ke ejike wala wana garan ran kina chalo na chatin community ko young people there are people believe it or not anon ko ye wo look up to within the community each and every young person totene tari ke ne yana non ko ye look up to Bangadio, there are people I look up to. The Bangali, there are people I look up to. The Tweet, can quite look up to. Quite when you have a card, but GK. It happened, GK is one of the people I look up to. It happened Deng Arong is someone I look up to. When in Chanangam, Kaka, Balui in the community, what are my weaknesses? Our weaknesses can be breached by someone with no experience. I call you the end obviously. Who can't call you Louis Min win? Deng Arong no chua Louis. Iran when I can num dom to do chinum dom tin. What would you are a chin a dal? Could we look at a issue? No good anti chato because chica man kuchilo. That sort of quality a car angry. Yeneke reason yana core bidding, yeneke lie anding with okay my BP. Because your auntie will disagree, can you your auntie could be to the ding, ding I get treated the same. Could be around to cool down the pure Philippine. Because community Jatingen, I need everybody. One core auntie because I cool down. One core auntie and we cheap part of Ramon quite tension. Really ying out because ya tension pin, Kubuga, cheap part of the card. In a reason yan ding corbiam, in a cake landing. I can not in cork of Chirento, but around you will proximity to something around children in the yard in the yellow. That though, while I want to get into one channel well, is one of those guys that is system who care on the tree and yet system the tree and me. Very, very ample leadership token in when I was thinking about him, Gamabella Gama channel. Because when you look up to somebody, I try, but I lay ping, I keep ping to him man with and the dial on cheap watching election department in 2019. Because chin get a issue. That person in the system, that person has integrity. Who community down the tree, a car integrity, a car the way you can make a lawyer that. Integrity how? I look at Ben Kuyara teach membership there. Who teach these resources are called managed with a great system when you in place. Because when the secretary, created been by a streamline. Who been the decision to yes, I will make some decision good and bad, we agree with. But I trust his integrity will be to channel lacking that. Not that I don't have integrity, but Ian don't experience in managing community leadership. And don't experience in managing non-profit organization. And yet, Musul Lost Boy Foundation. And yet, when she Dr. John Biden and one of the leaders she Dr. John Kwan, they are part of the leadership of the Lost Boy. And I'm going to tell you, a quiet have been part of the community. Who can't wait, we quiet, we quiet. So the way to deal with so and so can. But in the end, decision making. Is to the grace of the love for the community, who they don't want to overlook because quite too young, I don't want to work with them. I can have the case. So I bet Ben Ugamde, who they interviewed me, Chingati Kake. Who Gamke, because they can't explain things. Similar to the way I'm talking now, the Bangla community, Chikati, yung ko ba dia de kange, ko okay. Yung future de ti ko okay. Ran ko be alo de ko okay. Achi ko ikete ko buya treated de ko well, yes. No taking side.
Wobetok wel chakati ko ka chake bay nongin. Ko go pan ti we jipeng nong ban garang na ja. Kabi wobetok ka kinai kankaro. Kitueng the lawyer got it. Who could do Lebeloy Aril could do Ping Yanaka lawing a yenny and loud chini and ping. Kachake will get there. I keep on a tree. I take a ping. A bigger judgment then a big law in the Yakani. Chiran Leku Kabeloy, a bing out of ping, Jiman Chika ping. Bird now with your law chap putting each the bite out no. Kaka Tokaki. I know where to ben yal, not you could wait a oi in the campaign trail. ay lwela ke do de katoy ay lwela kabere ta katoy aw yin katoy. How do you cope with that?
So, ikini ka chaping too. Ay lwela koy jam ya door nyin da juang because the team happened to be money juang ke chance ke. So that opinions opinion ko ke. Elwela ko diabetic man wan cha tem chen week ka pit by an opportunity to lead because it's a week one. Another thing about kaga ay ka merge ke kankero kana nga yin ni tik tien tik in jam ko ke de kin ku ka mo na diong de ke de pa yam dai oran de lit e di ku election loy ku din lit ku ju ku la bera ni tim mu ku je yin twi je le ran dan wan ta ke te wo ke ni kin. The reason is, Mabur, Alaku, just stock an example. Kwachi akur benang ke bi ran man ekni. At the OK community where I come from, because we're down tech now. I jump the system the tweet. Go work, we have supported every leadership anywhere. Look at Juba, go supporters. Look at Madingbor, go supporters. Look at Kumarajamule, go supporters. Biku Australia were supporters. Canada were supporters. In the United States, we're supporters. We support people. Kene we are good at that. Kukapit, because I support in the team. But I think thank you for a judge or good. Kujoku Kudati, J3J and work. The Chiden Junior Jatem, what we will know, do you run pay? A chi Dow, the Dow Jatem. Cái cò bia commission cái cò bia governor go le no bu ye ram pe a chi Deng a chi tem Australia go le no bu ye ram pe yin kini ki chatem ku chance le bia le no bu ye ram pe bara cha dio ga chi bi jon twi we're still supporting twi e bang de tek we tek ret ko ya dio because our che tek ke di chu ku ngwen chan chu pen ka chu ku ti Kara tek a chike da lwele kalas chapol the chini chin lwele ka chapol ku ngoti lui support tin jite ene ke amana de tek ka so ira ne lwele ka tek tang chu ba ti ba dio in that regard don't take me wrong ne ka ba level but the question is ka duk ke I think edi a dio kero ke ka ko de loy ku election dio ku jo la ben ku je yen you go around to the other bay with you in tree. Tea and tick. Eto. Then you will like a week. The in the in leadership. The Charabay John. Could well uncle between way because automatically I know a team of Chilwell will want. Therefore, I think that you might who you never be tree of each one now. Who get joy fresh of ideas. With different perspective achieve by acting birana ben kulela de chinu an yan ku bi de to a chu wi ke lo tar tar ku yin ba o yin lo ko li di lo yin ke ge yin ter ku man e ka ka yan ke ting ku bi twi be a pan to to ke ra na benefit be a gam an opportunity a che idea de ku chin yar ye ting ge ko kan ka that yin ke number 1 whether jot could pan took which idea then which ben a kalibanang could twist strategically ke quite should be given opportunity in the sense of randikan we kuran yedi utik kan won jalwele a chan example a gam to be in alibale work of along the same experience maybe so critical I think we twi ku bu community da ku wo twi pe nomben ku nang good future ke cha ka ideas cha ka lui flow ku pal ka ke lui ke ka tek ku ka yin nga kina che yi
Again, a chiko je wede ay lelu ka kable buke bay nyal ek will ler by twin a chiran bono awunga ka chingolo in a cola one kene ke chaping wedwi kangaroo ay rolo ni jam in chirga bi wotin number 1 in ba week 2 in le batyam ka to no gol chan banya chelo ya ro elo ya to weekend le balu concede le bagam men long chi tilwel kuna lwel ti ya ka lwel ka kai ti big bela ben le babela ben ro
Number 1, the chitu lela no, idea do lele. I chen kor ku men, kaka gamran because I'm near panda tree. Ater, kayan chitu chanya, kuka gag lele ben, a little nothing. The giant, the chill lela ka che yin kulala no and ku pat ko karwana supporters check. Kayan an chitu chanya, kuki baya na ya duom a che loy. Tinere ka chalo yin mundi. A chitu yin garang. Che yin kor ku kwa dize ke loy ka sel la che ke ka kor ku lon ko ba loy chen ko kor ku yeru ni ke yen dom ran yin chi twilwel dam chin yan ku nyo je tapet ki yen cha ba loy tap ba mai ku ba le men chi we pe ne we ti am ba la ben no ana ra won hotel a lo ko ya lo twen no ko ko ba loy a chi twilwel ke ne ga che yen man ke yen ke ye kan ku la ko ki loy ku to ke ten chin cái bè là gần cái là ben của bị tít chắc cái bên đây ngang ngồi happen này là thế rồi ban của chúng tôi nhà là bây giờ là ben của bố bé yên nên làm một cái computer em nhà bố bé tới là đấy anh chỉ part of that system bây giờ cùng một cái IT support cùng một cái mà $4.17 a month ya charging của tàu ya của cái chicken seeing me again in the community in that regard because it's in point to it because cái đầu của at the time you want to help people because in the challenge the thing at that time. So you get the ben quite think can. Anora ni le ke too young that we are ping. We are le buku gam opportunity. Some of us want as a young person you're still developing yourself. You have to move on. You have to do other things to equip yourself. Community e ke thing ni ka ye ko ba ko ba lucky la twen.
Garang Ajak, you have spoken. No way we panity. Nanora chan we the dark can tau to unity chiti ben in tautin. I come a question ka. I can share one community. I can ke rom one Iran. I catch ben be bucket sort out and to die. Kubalwel ya garang abalu interview. A che garang ni chat a manager de. In ka chat go lula kayen garang allow about the very same thing. And it's a daw chat looking at kinto can you. Opportunity can available to know what would be a kitchaping to non ran chol manyang chol do a little garang a little bit Iran tau as long the chin issue kind of walk kuchukungi ka wed a lot a little bit jam can Iran chiben nyal no yin no nim ka kalbe weden le bena ban le belwe no tade pa a chin ka chidong ka en ku na nong ke to kan yin ke yo kor balwe won ter ku chidong wei ka bu ke jala yo twen wo chi ke yo ne zaman a chiben wo jinang nin karo bin ka chap ka ba ben twen ai updates ka matab ka baro loy panda ka logo jado ko wara kol an chi jam one parent ka nyan tin chola yor chol tu I mean yor tunya tunya wal yor tu che photographer a chiben amen met ke ti a chiben Arizona war nong lit a che lo ni 2019 yen akwen I believe a second year or third year kida ku ke photographer a chi le dore and ben when we besu to nong ti a chana ni pio miat ka ya ka ting ka ye ke loy emetaret college student still kana very impressive akar ba mat ne kaloy rodi chana luo follow na kulan ni chimit ka ke na ka cha ke interview nyan ding ai to wan ku twitch I mean wal at college about next year ngadi chemistry major and he's planning in going to medical school after that cái chít cái với mịt vì có cái follow chan vun đến những cái còn nào bánh truyền để truy bài thế này that is spirit những cái có pan the tree.
Indeed.
We want to prepare them for that kind of relationship kind of work. Benang building block, benang hope for the next generation. Kake ayah kebayi nial kubinu kaj beketing. Pa abangor keluel miang dalan show derloi miang bus apa ben kuteupi. Abiyin asur base ni mesende. Ku kabenang ngade benang dus bagai karping ben inke pore du bawar. Na lo war ke 20% au 10% ye kana abir gam non community ti. The hot. We need those kids. And next time, because profession ken abu keting. It's coming from the heart. Pa kene message yan yo chabe mir piore abu la lui tok mia ye kol. Garang ajak in challenge ku yin cha lor na bandu wen bandu challenge ga yin opportunity kan a voluntary e biran le ya kene ke okay yes it's okay ke yanaka imo ka ja ba ke tong wo ko beto baka kuan ko la twen ba ke gelo la ting wen pa do. Last word.
Hey, Simon, thank you for the opportunity. Can I get TV to tweet? Ko manyang cholke na bangi achale chian gam this opportunity to explain more of what I want to do community day. Kian bawan to the tini and I at that walk ko to you to bin mi the tweet today in by ko walk what to pure by walk kini mar na pana ko yuku kor benang ke yuku kwen we anora chira ne la dum we waror ka ye yu ji chen pir ko woto ko mi de toten ni ke mission the community kan ebran che kun kuma chilo no kun ko ke ran dun the community da ko twi we non-profit organization however wan ye wal ko kala mangala a chi ko ke la yen twi by themselves ay ko yen di bi ni ke toten but because we are trying to gap in to kina kuma kin kan bay ko woto ko fight ko ko a part of giving back when the mission of the organization in tawotin kiye wo kar bu ko ban ter or bu lo ter e wen lon chin ke yenin tin ku kin pion bu gam ku bi nyot chin ke ter de ki lo loy e na nga chi pion ku ti gam ku cha lwel yen ke ba loy ko ni run gi ke kala ba lew ni ke reason ye wo jam debates ku bu ku ideas bu ko explain Pachiran win to num twe kuran to num chien ye community dan twe ko to tok commission kan e buku ran chiralo kun oran chimam to dan chen mam tin ku ye twe ke bengi a che bai ko ke chaler ke twe ko ka ngode ke to ke min ke e biting di to mangala bengi wet ke ato america ti ke chalo pin chi bai ka la pin ke wada ko to makken ku nyira ka ken ato america ku tie ga ko in the organization dan so in that in the tweet in the US specifically and jam no way that mission alone the point your organization loy e bu ko ke to ke chi ko ke ni la marwa kira ko ke akina kuma ga ba ko ka chi piu ga nyai piom ne ke putin the quiet the guy will community and talk thing. Number one. Number two, abu to buy it and can go tree. To be what to buy it and go tree. Could be doomia. Could be a leg about you can Iran and talk. I mean Kunjaga. Majority of us are with your buy it. Some of us go hung a belaras and do. Could be in a note and man the bed did buy it and can. For that, a pit, the community kin, bungot ke chow. chip tang chi nya le ben mia ko chia ko chip dio ke benang ko ko chien ko on this screen talking about tree. You look at the point card. So kien cho vào bên to khang ke rewi te bu ko ke chimam ko ke te chin ke yu tra kuma bu ya ko e bu nang legacy ba ten ken bu mi chu ga die nang fin de bi chol 60 70 80 years from now career America ten ken or chi jal to lo ba ko chi ba chi la juir kai min ke min ko ora min ko chi be ba wo ko cha ko chi ngwen me nang tin keni ene ke yen kwa bu loy ko we need to keep this community together ko bu community da bu mu bu chin ma bu pil topic bu ni a chira ni important than the other a che Garang Ajak ko che ma bi da na ngo ko chira ande yin ene mahem wo ko bin wo tum ni wo loy to ku mi ko bu be bi generation da be ko cho ku to bi wo wa ti ne community kene ko chi kur bu da pe because loy a ter den ko bro loy chi kur bi will be ran go la riya nya to be ko la dom chin ko la theo ku temperature pin ma ku cho ko ter loy ku che bind that a chol ko well bind the tree a chi to bai tin to ko ma nyong a jak to ko ding dan ding ma lek to ko ding ma ben ke commissioner one ke dia ka to ban the tree tin ku ka to cs ke tin because cs ke ne le to tuam junub e chi to ko tuam non profit organization kene ene ke ba wen we a loku ai wa mia ko riu kurut ku nyar kurut ku yeran ni ki en wow kin tu be e ye dai di te ran den chi ran la dung we wa re ka wow e ye man ni ju ku di te na ka wow bi ara no ko la that's it so in ma bi ra ma ko je ten we ta ka le
Barach shukran jiddan yana kai yana kawo pa da ti garang ba yopol wo bi jola twenga tan pa interview da ke ko officially ka ba jola lo edit yana ka bataw bi wo jotio Garang Ajak good luck jame chelo de yana kai yana kan chnong we pa da ti ngot ko la twen kwan ku yu chok wo bi yo no kol yen botwen yen bu yo tan and bot yet ga closing yen ka bandi ta bata
Introduction. Hana tawar wani ya. Twiga kira get ata jamantar una ta twing kina nengwari u beneben ye twiga nengwari u beneben ye una nengwari pajaka mo waga talam du jo twijul ne ara jamal kina kamero batongo edla na twing ne ali cheng dor ri cheng ne ra di ura jamal ku gam na jir ku benang di panda tu te you work child the other you want door
yena Barach we chake mo we ba ke tong no we pa da ti community da ay lela wera to William to a chi wera chi lel yena kan ke chaka ping it ne dor ka to mat ka to loy ne to ka to opportunity can available to nong atemedeng nango to kore ni manager de acha gat kuna gwe kulelo kor interview ka open na guchi man jaman ping yene ka chala twen wer chi ping yene ka ye ber open kan ngachin ka kor EC and ke part of EC Iran albe candidate albe interview che ka authorization as long the boundaries can be kept chilly or by step better within the limit the kitchen ka wel chu ka le chiran chi ja ke kor bai be ping yen ga chi wel yen garang ajang deng le Barach rani cha tie chi manyang go le ya available way okay kan yen e manager de che garang ni cha tie go le okay yen wa daw go tie go nang nin ku chola chin ma sen chuan cha ba gar na ro ke ro le chiran ji lo cut e free open a yen chance kan ka available ku ke kraran korin che chin ka pen chan pa ne ti ku media kan a yen ka ka bai a ka lo tin so ran che gam tie nom ka ken korin ko la twen whether yetene will yet de de che gam ke yen ka ku ka chiran chin long de re wel ka e ka char ta de luk nga ga ben ku le long de ku bon nga ku le long de joran yen le long je long ku je pen to look at the interview just interview ebu wel bu ka wel bi bu wer ber ku pen ku ber wer wel ku pen ku ber no we ko no concern we dika and available and bo be tiru loy wen bo nyo ji tan ya te am lo facility kan ngor la ben bo nyo ti no ran korin a le le chak ping enough ko chak no ran korin a yen a chin ran chi tim ko chiran chi deny of anything ping ku gam ga ke nga a yen a chiran ba be tie ke ne ka ta ya nin ko ka chiaru ka chia dia ke ka chedum wo chi taw ne pe nin tier ku bet ji man tiro ku bet a wo ku bedung anin karo ku bu ja a chin ke cha pen take it as is ku wera yinia pa wo fair wo jama piet ko chiran le be pen ku gu ko chiran le be le loy ki chi kor a wet kan we tinda ano ran we yen chi non consent to forget it chin consent and it could be you go to talk what's in where can well okay can ben a yen available and ano ngano en chito to no nga ke kana che be ti ran no ke ti where do no jam e where well ku pen ku ber yen ke jam en long dia chalo pa we cha galor ku we cha ke mo nya li ga panda jam beto no Wednesday bi worur way dol ko gutche aja de beto ya Thursday nong in ran for zaman especially community ye long ye were to talk ka bro ngod ko wel ro kumit ku pion ro bukulo ye ne kino wo chol bukulo lo in to we cha mo magana good night aba do pe tinda ben ga madir nya
Pinda ka pieta jiranu ngaran duengo mieloy. Unda tung bane madir generan kore tagiran wen dia tum ben.
yen aba good night nyali kana wo yo berom no kul chi nyali gwir kano bi dana ngo bye for now